Translating novice. Tap tap. I dust off my clothes and look back. Whoosh. From the ground I emerged, dust rose up. Crack. I moved my formless sword, covering the dirt a bit more. Although I had extensively destroyed the palace, I didn't touch the main barriers, so it wouldn't cause the fall of Seokyeong City abruptly. The Mackley clan is now over. Having eliminated most of the chi-building cultivators and the core formation elders, including the clan head, the remaining members of the Mackley clan in the territory will slowly wither away under the pressure of the Jin clan. I look at the bundles of goods I have taken from the Mackley clan. I've gathered every single spirit stone from the Mackley clan, except for the elixirs. With this, I resolved all the issues in Yangguo. Now then, I turn my gaze southward. I should go meet Songjin and Seo Ran. Swoosh. The blue sea. Flying over the sea, I arrive at Seo Ran's residence from Yangguo in a day. Swish. I part the waters with my formless sword and descend directly to Seo Ran's dwelling. When I arrive at his underwater cave. Splash. From inside the underwater abode, Seo Ran hastily lifts his head. I speak to Seo Ran in the language of the demon race. Are you Seo Ran? Feeling the presence of my formless sword, he looks at me cautiously and asks. Yes, that's me, but may I ask, are you also a demon beast? Just an unusual human, and I've come to Seo Ran without any major incidents in this life, so he must have received the space-breaking bead from Seo Atrial as planned. How should I explain? After a moment of contemplation, I tell him. I'm here on behalf of an elder of the Sea Dragon tribe named Jian Hyang. He asked me to find you. You know Elder Jian? Seo Ran asks, his eyes widening. I nod. You received the space-breaking bead from Seo Atrial and were instructed to blow up the Nether crossing ship, correct? Isn't that so? Yes, that's correct. First, give me the space-breaking bead. Yes, oh, here it is. Seo Ran, though suspicious, hands me the space-breaking bead. After receiving the Dharma treasure, I say to him, you couldn't break through the barrier of Black Ghost Valley to enter the Nether crossing ship, could you? Let's go together. I'll break the barrier for you. Thank you. Seo Ran bows to me in gratitude, and I continue. You can transform into your true form, since I know you're a demi-human. Elder Jian told you about that as well. Let's say he did. Now follow me. We're going to the Nether crossing ship. Yes. Seo Ran, while still suspicious, follows me toward the Nether crossing ship. We arrive at the sea area where the Nether crossing ship is located. An invisible barrier is positioned ahead. Beyond this barrier lies the domain of ghosts. Senior, first of all, this barrier. Never mind, just stay there. I step back and raise my hand. Severing mountain swordsmanship, entering mountain. A slicing upward motion. That's all it took. And then, swoosh. The air splits open and the barrier is cut through. Beyond the barrier, the army of tens of thousands of ghosts that form the Black Ghost Legion are also split in half, clearing the path. Gasp. Seo Ran's mouth hangs open, and I, pulling along the stunned Seo Ran, quickly head towards the center of the formation where the Nether crossing ship is located. In the center of the well-shaped formation, a solid final barrier remains. Boom. Quang. My thrown formless sword shatters the barrier in one strike. Gasp. Even a core formation cultivator would struggle to break such a barrier. Seo Ran, who had been staring blankly, now looks at me with eyes full of fear. It's understandable. An already suspicious person showing nascent soul capabilities is indeed terrifying. Hurry up, there's someone we need to meet. To meet who? Did you think, even though Black Ghost Valley became a wasteland, that they would leave the Nether crossing ship, their pride and joy, completely unguarded? I lead Seo Ran straight down to the lowest level of the Nether crossing ship. There in the deepest part of the ship, we meet Songjin, who glares at me nervously. Who are you? Songjin seems aware that I had broken the barrier in one go, sizing me up intensely. I turn to Seo Ran. Introduce yourself, Taoist Seo. This person is Senior Songjin, a heavenly being remnant soul, guarding this Nether crossing ship after being killed by the mad Lord Jo Yon. Hello. You could it be, why have you come here? Seo Ran looks to not understand the situation, and just greets Songjin as instructed. Are you her child, why have you come here? At this, Seo Ran clamps his lips shut. I came to search for my mother's relic. You came to search for your mother's relic. Flames blaze in Song Jin's eyes. Yet he seems to restrain his anger, speaking more softly. Whatever is remaining in this place, everything, is a part of the valley. I cannot give anything to an outsider like you. I raise my formless sword and ask, why don't you give us a chance to find it, senior? Song Jin's eyes blaze even more fiercely at the sight of my formless sword. Though angry, realizing he has no way to resist against my nascent soul prowess, he seems to accept his situation. How did you manage to not get dragged into ascension? And what is that ominous thing that freely enters and leaves planes? Damn it. He grits his teeth, clenching his fists tightly. I'll give you half a day. Find your mother's room within that time and search for the relic. If you don't leave within that time, I will burn my soul to show you the wrath of a heavenly being cultivator. Understood, thank you. Seo Ran bows to Song Jin, and I nod. Later, guided by me, Seo Ran reaches his mother's room. You? Song Jin looks furious, but closes his mouth and watches us silently. Soon, Seo Ran finds the jade slip his mother left and begins to read it. Song Jin also sneaks in and starts reading the jade slip with him. I step outside for a while. After some time, I hear Song Jin and Seo Ran talking inside the room. I head outside the nether crossing ship and slowly look up at the sky. 3 days passed. What are your intentions? Song Jin came to find me, who had been quietly waiting on the deck. Why did you bring that boy to me? And why did you support him without asking for anything in return? I paused before making an excuse. I was asked by an elder of the Sea Dragon tribe, Jian Hyang. Jian Hyang, the chief astrologer of the Sea Dragon tribe, I see. Why do you ask? That boy, I've decided to take him as my disciple. Once again, the master-disciple bond between Song Jin and Seo Ran is established. Seo Ran and Song Jin came to the deck to thank me. I don't like it, but I need to thank you anyway. I'm also very grateful. If there's anything you need in the future, senior, I will fulfill up to 3 requests. My disciple is doing so I can't just stand by only opening my mouth. I will do the same. In that case, I look at Song Jin and say, first, let me use the nether crossing ship. What? Boom. I present the pile of spirit stones I have brought from the main house of the Mackley clan in front of him. With this, it should be enough to operate the nether crossing ship right. It should be more than enough since I had taken all the spirit stones from the Mackley clan. Song Jin's eyes gleam at the sight of the spirit stones. It's more than enough. All right, where do you want to go? First, let's go to the Sea Dragon Palace of the Sea Dragon tribe. Together, we move towards the Sea Dragon Palace. Rumble. Together with ghostly energy, the nether crossing ship moved through space. We immediately reached the location of the Sea Dragon Palace. Is it possible to break the barrier of the Sea Dragon Palace using the main cannon of the nether crossing ship? Impossible. All the main cannons on the nether crossing ship are broken. I see. I recall the power of the cannon fired by Manly Minlap and lick my lips. Then I have no choice but to use my own strength. I descend from the nether crossing ship, braving the water pressure, and swing my formless sword. The area in my past life where Seo Ran had set up the formation. It should be enough to break through the weakest part of Seo Atrial's barrier. Wung! The formless sword penetrates the inside of the formation. Starting with the most fragile parts, it begins to permeate and erode them. As the layers thin soon after, boom! A small hole appears on one side of the barrier. Taoist Seo, follow me, and if possible, Senior Song Jin, please come along. How can I trust that you haven't set a trap here? Song Jin looks at me suspiciously, and I sigh and say, I swear on the nether crossing ship, I assure you I haven't set any traps here. All right. Song Jin forms a hand seal and draws the ghostly energy from the nether crossing ship to himself. Swoosh! Song Jin jumps down with the ghostly energy attached, followed by Seo Ran and me, and we enter the Sea Dragon Palace. The Sea Dragon Palace. The last time I was here was when I was invited by Dragon King Seo. It's been a long time. It's been a while for me too. We head towards the inner palace of the Sea Dragon Palace. But why have you called us here? Please follow me, there's something I need to show you. I lead them to the hall where Jian Hyang had died. Swoosh! And when we enter the hall, Sticky curse flies towards Seo Ran and sticks to him. Just as Song Jin is startled and tries to remove the curse attached to Seo Ran. Hiss. The curse attached to Seo Ran melts away. It seems like Seo Ran has heard Jian Hyang's voice as his eyes tremble. Elder Jian, I need to read that book. I calmly picked up a jade slab. Below, I find a familiar book. I pull the book towards me with my formless sword and then place the jade slab down. Then I hand the book to Song Jin. Please check if there are any problems with it. What problem could there be? It's just. Then, what, damn it, our eyes met. Startled, Song Jin glares at the book. Wriggle, wriggle. Even though the book left by Seo Atrial hasn't been fully read or closed yet, it begins to wriggle wildly. Swoosh. A ghostly energy emanates from Song Jin's hand, enveloping the book, and he urgently speaks. Damn, I've temporarily sealed it. Let's quickly go back to the Nether Crossing ship. Snap. I grab Song Jin's shoulder, and together we return to the Nether Crossing ship using the formless sword. When we finally arrive at the Nether Crossing ship, boom! The ghostly energy fails to withstand any more and finally breaks apart. From inside the book, a blue light bursts forth. The consciousness of Sea Dragon King Seo Atrial. The consciousness of Seo Atrial begins to spill out the same words I had heard in my past life. As Seo Ran's eyes widen in shock, Song Jin forms a seal and shouts, "Devour it, Nether Crossing ship." Simultaneously, screech! Ghostly figures emerge from the deck of the Nether Crossing ship, idly binding Seo Atrial's remnant. And so, Seo Atrial's remnant is sucked into the Nether Crossing ship. Swoosh! Just like that, Seo Atrial's remnant vanishes. It's the remnant consciousness left by Dragon King Seo. Why did he leave such a thing? Song Jin wonders, and Seo Ran, shocked by Seo Atrial's words, trembles. I pick up the book and hand it to Seo Ran. Inside, you'll find Elder Jian Hyang's diary. There's no more trickery from Seo Atrial, so take your time and read it. All right. Seo Ran looks fearful of facing the truth, hesitating briefly. But soon, he tremblingly begins to read the book. After a while, drip, drip, tears begin to flow from Seo Ran's eyes. Everything the king showed me, was it all a lie? He looks deeply shocked. Seo Ran weeps for a long time while looking at the book. After several hours, have you calmed down a bit, Taoist Seo? I was entrusted by Elder Jian Hyang before he wrote the last part of his diary. He asked me to guide you well. I have led you here in accordance with his will, so I hope you make wise decisions going forward. Seo Ran grits his teeth and nods. Understood, thank you. He has a resolved expression on his face. Song Jin, who has been watching us, speaks to me. I won't count activating the Nether Crossing ship as a favor. Thanks to this, my disciple has learned about the deceitfulness of Dragon King Seo and will also gain the numerous treasures left in the Sea Dragon Palace. Thank you. Then, can we make a few more stops using the Nether Crossing ship? Late evening. The heat of the desert cooled as night approached. Kagagugu. The Nether Crossing ship appeared in the middle of the desert. In the distance, a black castle is visible. Senior Song Jin, do you feel the enormous resentful souls sleeping beneath that castle? Indeed, they are immense. Can you use them to break the barrier covering that black castle? Hearing my words, Song Jin nods. Well, all right. Kagagugu. Shortly after, the Nether Crossing ship lands in the desert. Song Jin begins to form seals. It's the dead of night with no sunrise, so the yin energy of the resentful souls are boiling more fiercely. Kaya, Kaya, Kaya. Bubble, bubble, bubble. Millions of resentful souls beneath the black castle scream wildly. And feeling the anomaly, a bloody fog starts to flow out from inside the black castle. What, who are you, who dares? And a familiar face appears. It's Yuan Li. I smirk. Should have stayed hidden, why come out and risk your life? What, W8 Nether Crossing ship, Black Ghost Valley. Just then Song Jin completes his spell. Kaya. A horde of ghosts wail and rush towards Song Jin. This is madness. What? Why are you doing this to me all of a sudden? Yuan Li, sensing Song Jin's growing power, cries out in terror. But Song Jin, indifferent to his pleas, completes his ghostly spell. Damn it. Shusha. Kying. Yuan Li curses, and retreats back into the Black Castle. Soon, the ancient barrier covering the Black Castle reveals itself. Swoosh! Simultaneously, a crimson river of blood flows from inside the castle, strengthening the barrier. Long source true power. Yuan Li's backup life. Kying. Crag. The barrier strengthened amid sparks. And then, Kagagugu. The sky fills with yin energy. In an instant, Song Jin, regaining his heavenly being power, stands with his hands behind his back, floating in the air, looking down at the Black Castle. It seems to be an immortal treasure with the power to attract fate. So they say. The Mad Lord had mentioned it before. I had heard about this castle before as well. Song Jin looks at me. It seems you want to capture that guy. Though the castle itself is not much, the core supplying the castle with the power of fate is troublesome, and he's hiding right below it. I can shatter the castle with one blow, but I might not be able to capture him and the core. It's all right. Just do that much and I'll handle the rest. Very well then. Kagagugu. Blue ghostly flames rise in Song Jin's eyes. I'll show you the power of an elder of the great Azure Ghost Valley. Kaya. Kurun. Dark clouds gather in the sky. Soon the clouds merge, forming a giant ghostly head. Thousand Ghost Bone Formation, open. Kaya. A ghostly wail echoes between heaven and earth. Then the ghostly head formed by the dark clouds contort wildly and plummet towards the Black Castle. A force that rivals the statue thrown by the Mad Lord. Jade. The Black Castle's barrier, saturated with long source true power, seems to resist for a moment, but then turns red and explodes. Kwang. The Black Castle beneath the barrier also crumbles. Quagwagwang. A storm of yin wind sweeps across heaven and earth. Shortly after. Surprising indeed, I did hold back a bit. Still, I didn't expect the castle to retain its shape. Song Jin looks at the Black Castle in astonishment. It's just as he said. Despite the immense strike it had just endured, the Black Castle hasn't turned entirely to dust. Only the upper layers and the roof had been blown off, maintaining its general structure. Of course. Alia Gargak. Yuan Li is inside, half turned to meat vomiting blood. Shuruk. He's using the long source true power to regenerate his body. And then, above him, the apparition of Cohreal flickers and disappears. Song Jin looks at Cohreal's apparition, his ghostly energy distorting for a moment before turning his head away. Cohreal's remnants and the core of this castle shielded it from my strike. That is, I remember something from my distant past life. After the Mad Lord dealt with Yuan Li. When he tore apart the Black Castle, there was a stone fragment. Back then, I was more concerned with escaping the Mad Lord secretly and didn't pay much attention to the fragment. But at this moment, seeing the stone fragment clearly, my eyes widened in astonishment. Crackle. The stone fragment is continuously emitting golden lightning. It's the upper part of the steel that had floated right in front of Ascension Gate, in the center of Ascension Path. Translator notes, donated chapter by Satino and Cruz. Thanks for the support. // Discord https://dsc gg/wetread. Link to donations in the Discord. Chapter 136, Bayhui 3. Translating novice. Leave it behind for future generations. Relinquish your desires and ascend. Those who do not adhere will face calamity. I recall the contents of the steel I had seen on Ascension Path. The upper part that was torn off and couldn't be seen. Clearly, given the edges on this steel, this must be the upper part of that steel. I haven't made the connection before, as it seemed unrelated to Yuan Li. Thinking about it. Back then, I saw the stone tablet inscribed with golden divine, heavenly thunder near the Black Castle. I never imagined. This guy is related to the golden divine, heavenly thunder sect. Of course, the details will have to wait. I'll have to subdue him first and see. As Yuan Li vomits blood, I charge right in front of him. Kagagugung. My formless sword, swung at tremendous speed, clashes against his defenses. As long as the castle isn't completely turned to dust, it seems he can still exert the power of the nascent soul within it. But the situation is different from my last life. Thud. I kick Yuan Li squarely. He looks to erect a shield, but my formless sword permeates right through, kicking him in the stomach. Puhak! He spits out a mouthful of blood. And then, having been kicked by my formless sword, he is blown away, flying out of the punctured black castle. Kwang! Once outside the castle's domain, his cultivation falls to the level of a mere core formation great perfection. You bastard! Grinding his teeth, Yuan Li pulls out 7 scrolls from his storage artifact. He opens the scrolls, while summoning 2 blood cloud ghost kings. 7 demon souls also emerge. But, in the name of Prince Seo Ran. Seo Ran's voice echoes across the desert. Children of the sea, kneel before the bloodline of the Sea Dragon King. Zilling! Seo Ran's command becomes an order, binding the demon souls. The dragon demon soul immediately prostrates itself. The other demon souls, initially resisting Seo Ran's command, also reluctantly knelt down. I can't hold demon souls above core formation for long. Seo Ran urgently shouts and I nod. Kaya! Guaya! Head 2 ghost kings scream, each wielding a scythe. But from behind, another booming voice is heard. Under the name of the Nether crossing ship. Then, all ghosts shall bow before the boat that crosses the river of the Netherworld. Kagagugu! From the Nether crossing ship behind me, a strong suction force targeting ghosts manifests. Guaya! Kaya! The 2 ghost kings scream, trying their best to resist being sucked into the Nether crossing ship and planting their scythes into the desert to hold their ground. In an instant, 3 of Yuan Li's major forces are neutralized. Seo Ran and Song Jin are a perfect match against Yuan Li. I realized this in my past life when I saw Seo Ran subdue Yuan Li using the summoning wind, true blood transformation. But in this life, their compatibility is even more apparent. Of course, if Yuan Li could properly recall his ghost kings and supply the energy of a nascent soul to his demon souls and ghost kings, even Seo Ran and Song Jin would find it hard to neutralize Yuan Li so easily. But once driven out of the Black Castle, he became much easier to handle. Step. I draw my formless sword and walk towards him. Krghu, damn you, you think you can defeat me so easily. Boom. Round him, bone dagger dharma treasures, a spear dharma treasure, and a crystal skull staff float up. Above him, the 5 elements blood curse banners emerge. Chererek. The 5 elements blood curse banners fly towards my head. But I let the banners hit me. Pug. With a slight sting, the 5 elements blood curse banners are absorbed into the 5 elements blood curse banner located in my upper dantian. What? Yuan Li trembles in dismay. Step. I walk slowly towards Yuan Li. That reaction, you also have the 5 elements blood curse banner. All right then. 17 bone dagger dharma treasures spin. I swing my formless sword. The link that connects the dharma treasures to Yuan Li severs. The dharma treasures fall to the ground. Eek! A ghost king emerges from the blood-colored spear, grabbing it. Immediately upon emerging, the ghost king, resisting the suction of the Nether crossing ship, desperately plants the spear into the ground. Eventually, all Yuan Li has left is the crystal skull staff. Krrrgh. Yuan Li begins casting a spell with a murmuring voice. Chwadwadwad. From the staff, blood trees sprout in the desert, and a sea of blood covers the surroundings. Clouds of blood erupt from the blood sea, enveloping him. Instantly, the area transforms into his domain. Blood-red ghosts rush towards me. From the blood clouds, numerous skulls fall like rain on top of me. Blood from the sea surges, turning into arrows of blood shooting at me. The whole area is dyed in blood. And then I swing my sword. Kwang! With a single slash. That slash sweeps away all the miscellaneous spells. Even after that, the slash does not lose momentum, changing its trajectory and extending in all directions like thorny vines. Yuan Li resists with numerous spells, but the slash permeates through the stronger parts and cuts through the weaker ones, nullifying them all. Finally, chwak. Yuan Li's body is swept up by the storm of colorless trajectories and turns into a bloody mess. Of course, chiruruk. As he absorbs the blood fog, his flesh begins to wriggle and regenerate. But the regeneration takes too long. It takes 2 full breaths. In 2 breaths, I can swing my formless sword hundreds of times. Kwang! Quang! All the miscellaneous things in front of me are swept away, and I quickly approach Yuan Li, who is regenerating, and kick him. Jade. As he's regenerating, he is again blown far away into the desert. Chirurururuk. Like a cockroach boasting its vitality, he regenerates even while being blown away. But in no time, I am already above him. I bend my legs, then extend them, stomping down on Yuan Li with both feet. Poog! Yuan Li's body, struck by my feet, splits in two and falls below. Chalag Cherlak. From his severed body, fish made of blood appear and fly at me. Boom, 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 boom. My formless sword rotates around me. In a state of unified offense and defense, I ground all the approaching fish and again plummet down towards him. Chiulbug. His upper body, split in two, explodes into a bloody mess. He again regenerates his upper body from his lower half. Wung. I feel the air burst behind me. Having turned Yuan Li's upper body into a blood mist, I approach his regenerating lower half and raise my hand. Kwang. I slam my hand down. Kagagugu. As Yuan Li's body tries to regenerate, a chasm forms beneath him, and he is split in half. Keep regenerating, you cockroach. Chirug chirururuk. The halved body begins to reattach itself. Hwaruruk. His blood turns into blood fire and envelops me. But with my formless sword flowing through my entire body, I break through the blood fire and reach out. Quack. My hand grasps Yuan Li's head. I'll kill you until you die. With that, I grab his head and slam it into the desert floor. Tuguang. His upper body again vanishes along with sword scars. By now, Yuan Li's regeneration has visibly slowed. Shikshirarek. I watch Yuan Li, wriggling and regenerating his upper body, and raise my foot. Wait a moment. Kwang. In my past life, I killed him too easily, watching out for the Mad Lord and Cohrial. It was fortunate that I killed him quickly. The Mad Lord was slightly outmatched among the many heavenly being cultivators. If I dragged it out like this back then, Cohrial might have come in person. Why? Piang. After blowing up his face again. Whenever he tries to regenerate properly, I relentlessly attack him. Intermittent spells flying towards me are so weak that I can fend them off with my formless sword-imbued body, and even those are getting weaker. And then, Kwang, when I blew up his face once more. Seeing that it takes him so long to even regenerate somewhat, I step on his stomach and finally stop attacking. It's a little refreshing. KRGG I feel a little sorry about this, but you see, I had quite a bit pent up. Cough, cough. Now that your regeneration seems to have slowed down quite a bit, if I crush your golden core now, you'll die, won't you? KRRGH. Gasping for breath, Yuan Li looks up at me and asks, why are you doing this to me? Are you a nascent soul cultivator? Think of it that way. In fact, I could have crushed your golden core and severed your soul right away, but I wanted to hit you a bit. Thank you for sparing me. I looked down at him with a slight smile. I never said I'd spare you, though. Please spare me. I won't make you regret it. How so? There is a lot of wealth in my castle. If I kill you, all of that becomes mine anyway, doesn't it? I can also teach you the devilish arts I have mastered. I'm not interested in devilish arts. What do you want then? I know a lot. If you have any questions, please just ask. I grab his hair. Now you seem ready to talk. Step by step. I drag him toward the nether crossing ship. Thump. I place Yuan Li on the deck of the nether crossing ship. You are now my slave. You cannot defy my orders, and if I choose to kill you, you must submit without resistance. Understand? Yes, if you spare my life right now. Swear it on the nether crossing ship. I can feel Yuan Li's intent flare up in anger and fear. You didn't swear sincerely. I guess I should kill you right now. I swear on the nether crossing ship, I will follow your commands. Eventually, Yuan Li swears a ghostly oath on the nether crossing ship. Now, if he breaks his oath, his soul will be instantly sucked into the nether crossing ship. I command him, wait here for now. It's time to check the contents of the steel. Talet. I jump down and read the upper part of the steel that's been intriguing me. What exactly does it say? The upper part of the steel is a bit longer and contains much more content than the lower part. The content of the steel is as follows. a warning to future generations. All immortal treasures in the world are ultimately connected to true immortals and the force of attraction. For those who are not yet prepared and are connected to true immortals, calamity will inevitably come. One of the few advantages of this grotesque and bizarre world is that, due to its ominous nature, most true immortals find it difficult to read and locate heavenly fate. Therefore, descendants, if you happen to obtain an immortal treasure or something of the immortal realm, leave it in this world. Do not underestimate the desires and powers of those who have reached the great boundary. Those who possess an immortal treasure and ascend will inevitably be noticed by true immortals, no matter where they ascend to. Especially my descendants. Growing up in the golden divine heavenly thunder sect, if you happen to possess the heavenly lightning banner, heed my warning, and the content ends there. I connect this content of the steel in ascension path. Leave it behind for future generations, relinquish your desires and ascend. Those who do not adhere will face calamity. It's not just encouragement to let go of desires. It's a much more specific warning than I expected. I think of the three heavenly beings, each hoarding their sex treasures, and the Sea Dragon King who left considerable treasures in the Sea Dragon Palace. The Sea Dragon King knew this warning. And, the warning was intended for the golden divine heavenly thunder sect. But the current generation of the sect, didn't they take the heavenly lightning banner as is? The nether crossing ship of Black Ghost Valley is a counterfeit of an immortal treasure. The blue sky armor of Azure Tiger Saint is an exceptional Dharma treasure beyond ordinary ones. But the heavenly lightning banner is a rumored immortal treasure of Yang Sujin. Jian Myohun, this guy. I can't help but worry for him. I've been most worried about Deputy O and Team Leader Kim, who were captured by Co Atrial and Mad Lord. But unexpectedly, the most concerning might be Jian Myohun, who could be entangled with a great boundary existence right now. Crackle, crackle. I look at the steel floating in front of me, sparking with lightning. Yuan Li quietly came to stand beside me. What's your relationship with the golden divine heavenly thunder sect? What is this black castle? This castle, 40,000 years ago, was an ascension path. It was originally a shrine dedicated to golden deity Yang Sujin. I'm a descendant of the clan that managed the shrine. The torn-off parts of the castle. I remember the remnants of the stone structure in Ascension Path, which seemed to have something ripped off from it. That was another part of this castle. So, you have no connection with the golden divine heavenly thunder sect. After the shrine was torn from Ascension Path and flown to the desert during the war 40,000 years ago, my clan was forgotten in the memories of the golden divine heavenly thunder sect. I see. I continue to question him. What was your original purpose? After all the heavenly being cultivators ascended, my goal was to rule the entire continent, harnessing the resources to master devilish arts to an extreme degree. Then, with the blessing of the serving command seal, I planned to ascend to an upper realm called the Blood Yin Realm, not the one connected to the Ascension Gate. The Blood Yin Realm. Yes, nowadays, thanks to Yang Sujin's Ascension Gate, everyone ascends through the gate. However, 120,000 years ago, depending on the cultivation method practiced, the upper realm one ascended to differed. The upper realm connected to the Ascension Gate isn't suitable for practicing devilish arts. Though it's hundreds of times better than this world, it's still not optimized for devilish arts. Hence, I was planning a more traditional ascension through the serving command seal. Knowing about the Blood Yin realm, it seems you have information about the upper realms. Tell me about it. Yuan Li cautiously begins his story. There are currently 6 known upper realms: Blood Yin, True Devil, Ancient Force, Nether Ghost, Purple Gold, and Bright Cold. I don't have information about Ancient Force, Nether Ghost, and Purple Gold, but the Bright Cold and True Devil realms are well known. The Bright Cold realm is currently connected to the Ascension Gate. The True Devil realm is adjacent to the Bright Cold realm and is at war with it. His explanation continues. Seo Ran also joins in, listening carefully, and Song Jin evaluates Yuan Li's story from above the nether crossing ship. In the times before the Ascension Gate, if one practiced ordinary immortal or righteous cultivation methods, they would ascend to the Bright Cold realm. Practicing devilish arts led to the True Devil realm. Ascending to the True Devil realm allows one to receive the True Devil Chi, enabling a transformation into the Devil race. What about the Blood Yin realm then? The blood yin realm was originally part of the true devil realm, but separated due to the overwhelming evil, yin, and turbid energy. Ascending there, instead of the true devil realm, allows absorption of the realm's power, potentially becoming a far more exalted being than the devils of the true devil realm. Ahem. In essence, Yuan Li's plan was to commit a massacre across the entire continent, gather extreme devilish energy, and ascend to a more exceptional realm suited for him. Then, what is Coatl planning to achieve through such a person? Did he also desire to go to the blood yin realm? No, he has too many schemes laid out in this world. Coatl's objective isn't an upper realm, but specifically this world. I can't deduce Coatl's purpose from just listening to Yuan Li's explanation. Did you hear anything from Coatl? From the Sea Dragon King? No, but not from him directly, but I did steal one of his cultivation methods and a drop of his blood. If you want it, I can give it to you. No need. This guy doesn't even realize he is being used by the Sea Dragon King. So this guy's goal and the Sea Dragon King's goal coincides. Is the massacre he was planning to commit for the Blood Yin realm somehow what the Sea Dragon King wants? Right. I remember there's one more thing to obtain from this bastard. If you wanted the serving command seal's blessing for your ascension, you must have wanted the seal, correct? Yes, that is correct. Then you must also have the method to break down all the floors of serving command palace. Yes, I have analyzed the energy flowing through the layers of serving command palace and prepared a formation to break down all of its floors. If you want it, I'll give it to you. Yuan Li takes out red flag Dharma treasures from his storage artifact, hands them to me, and explains how to use them. Similar to the formation Chengmun Ryong and I created, it's a formation specifically for serving command palace. All right, and I asked Yuan Li a few more questions. Then I learned the location of his treasure vault and even where he hid his blood spirits. After following him around the inside of the Black Castle, I came across what he had been hiding, just as I expected. This is. I gaze at a large blood-red jar. The jar is sealed with a pristine white cloth, and although its color is red, it doesn't emit the foul stench of blood like Yuan Li's other items. Instead, a fragrant scent wafts from within. What's inside this? Inside is my blood body. What is this blood body made of? Among blood bodies, the basic blood body itself is cultivated from my blood in a spiritual fluid. Later, if I wish to add special functions, I dissolve collected materials into the jar, slowly synthesizing them with the blood body. Collected materials. Yes, solutions made of impressive enemies' corpses dissolved in blood. How many materials have you dissolved in this blood body? Yuan Li's subsequent revelation surprises me. Currently, the blood body is purely accumulating spiritual power and practicing devilish arts with unadulterated devilish energy, so nothing has been synthesized yet. Originally, I planned to find my blood spirits, regain cultivation, and slowly synthesize it over the next 200 years. Understood. Hand over everything you know about the blood body. Yuan Li writes down everything about creating, manipulating, and synthesizing the blood body, and hands it to me. Thus, I successfully gathered everything I needed from Yuan Li. It seems I've heard everything worthwhile now. Yes, I have told you everything truthfully, without omission. Of course, my usefulness doesn't end here. There are also those whom I've made slaves by implanting the 5 elements blood curse banners in advance. Just then Song Jin, who has been listening to Yuan Li's story, speaks up. Let me sift through his mind a bit. What? He appears to have told the truth, but why take the words of a devilish cultivator at face value? Surely the secrets he's been hiding are far greater than what he's blurted out so far. If I just delve a little into his upper dantian, I can make him spill everything, even the secrets he's unaware of. That sounds reasonable. I nod. Go ahead. Wait a moment. Stay still, Yuan Li. If you resist, I'll kill you. Are you planning to break your oath to the Nether crossing ship? Ju, just wait, master. But Song Jin's hand reaches Yuan Li's head faster. Soon after, Ayug. Yuan Li trembles violently and screams. Then Song Jin speaks. He told most of it, but he had sealed some information in his mind. Roughly tearing through those seals revealed the following. The information Song Jin reveals includes methods for offering sacrifices to high-ranking entities in the Blood Yin realm and efficient rituals for blood sacrifices. Of course, it also includes Yuan Li's personal history and more. Not particularly useful information. Regardless, the fact that he dared to hide things from you is significant. Especially the method of making sacrifices to entities in the Blood Yin realm can be threatening, as it might allow one to break free from the Nether Crossing ship's oath. Is that so? It didn't really concern me. And, after rummaging through Yuan Li's mind for a while, Song Jin says, as for information about the Sea Dragon King, it seems he was lying about being unaware. Is there any information? Song Jin's eyes flare with ghostly fire. No. Song Jin clicks his tongue. The remnant of Coatriol that appeared when I struck with my full power during my prime. It seems a seal was placed in this one's mind to automatically erase any information about Coatriol upon activation. The seal was embedded in his upper dantian. He didn't even realize the information in his mind was being erased. It means there's no way to obtain information about Coatriol. So that's it then. That's all. Shieka. Song Jin releases Yuan Li, who collapses, clutching his head. I look down at him. All right, now that we've obtained all the useful information, wait, I still have uses. Even after extracting all the information you've hidden. No, my influence, obtained through covert operations around the world, isn't just this. Is that so? The 3 clans of the West, the 4 tribes of the North, the 5 lords of the East are all under my control. Interesting. I raise my formless sword. Farewell. Why? Ah no, please don't, I don't want to die. Master, you son of a bitch. Slice. My formless sword gleams as it cleanly severs Yuan Li's soul. Thus Yuan Li, having spilled everything, perished. Don't worry. Next time I won't torture you with false hope and will grant you a swift death. I gaze coldly at Yuan Li's lifeless body, murmuring to myself. Song Jin chuckles. Not caring about betrayal, I see. You never intended to spare him from the start. It's not betrayal. We were never on the same side to begin with. I simply cut down an enemy. I look at the jar said to contain Yuan Li's blood body. Whoosh. Opening the cloth that sealed the jar, I see a familiar beauty inside, neither male nor female. Using the devilish method I acquired from Yuan Li, I separate my consciousness and insert it into the blood body. Flash. The blood body accepts my consciousness, opening its eyes. It rises to its feet. The blood body is a naked, pale white figure, with jet black hair cascading down, covering its vital parts. Yuan Li was cultivating his original devilish arts in it. Apparently, not having grown as much as it would in 200 years, the blood body's cultivation is only at the later stages of core formation. It will be quite useful when investigating the Ascension Gate. After all, having a puppet that can go ahead and face death first is very useful. Moreover, thump, I manipulate the blood body, dressing it in Yuan Li's blood robes and equipping it with his Dharma treasures. Yuan Li's Dharma treasures are still functional, making it a truly useful puppet. The spirit stones and elixirs beneath the castle can be taken by Senior Song Jin. I don't particularly need such resources. Oh really? Song Jin, delighted, plunders Yuan Li's treasure vault, loading up the Nether Crossing ship with spirit stones for recharging. While rummaging through Yuan Li's castle. I found something familiar among the items scattered in Yuan Li's vault. A jade norgi. It belonged to Wu Yang's great-grandson. He said he was devoured long ago. I decided to bring the norgi to Wu Yang. Shortly after, Song Jin and Seo Ran began to move the Nether Crossing ship again at my request. Kagagugu. The Nether Crossing ship roamed the vast northern plains. We fed Yuan Li's blood spirits, hidden across the northern plains, one by one to the Nether Crossing ship, eradicating any chances of Yuan Li's resurrection. During this process, I spotted a familiar face among the bewildered mortals and cultivators watching the Nether Crossing ship. It was Wu Yang. I descended from the Nether Crossing ship and approached him. Who are you? Wu Yang looked at me with a wary expression. I walked up to him and handed him the norgi. I briefly told Wu Yang about his great-grandson's story. Yuan Li, who lived in the heaven-treading desert. The many he had devoured. And among them, the relic of Wu Yang's great-grandson. Thank you. Oryang exuded an indescribable mix of pain and slight relief. Really, thank you. I listened to Oryang's words of gratitude for a while, and joined him in a moment of silence for those sacrificed by Yuan Li. The Nether crossing ship continued to move, visiting the areas near the heaven-treading desert, the north, the east, the southern seas, and the vicinity of the western countries. Then from the prow of the Nether crossing ship, I spot a familiar city. Kagagugu. The Nether crossing ship hovers above Chinsik City, targeting Yuan Li's last blood spirit hidden in its center. Kiyeving. Yuan Li's blood spirit, concealed in the heart of Chinsik City, emits monstrous screams as it is devoured by the Nether crossing ship. Phew, it's all over now. The chances of resurrection was less than a penny the moment his soul was severed, but to go this far, you're quite ruthless. It's not so much about guarding against Yuan Li's resurrection. I smile bitterly. I just wanted to completely erase his existence from this world. I gaze down at Chinsik City and the countless people living there. I hope for Yuan Li's traces to not linger in their daily lives. Squeeze. I hold not the norigi given to Oryang, but the jade norigage that has become my dharma treasure. Senior, I have someone to meet briefly. Could you please wait for me? All right. Holding the jade norigi, I land in front of a familiar workshop located in the center of Chinsik City. Thump thump. My heart is racing. What should I say first? Creak. I open the door to the magic artifact store and step inside. Translator notes, this and the next 3 chapters are all donated by the one and only Satino. Thanks for the support. // Discord https://dsc.gg/wetread. Link to donations in the Discord. Chapter 137, Beihui 4. Translating novice. The magic artifact shop is just as I remember it. It's still the same scene from that time. Clang, clang, clang. From inside the workshop, the sound of her crafting something can still be heard. I look around the magic artifact shop for a while, waiting for her. After a bit, the door of the workshop opens, and a person walks out. She's wearing the same pure white robe as in my memory. It's her. I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. What brings you here? I am. Before I can even say anything. Whoosh. Suddenly, the jade-colored norigi hanging at my waist starts to tremble violently. At the same time, the norigi at her waist also starts to shake. A perfectly identical pair of magic artifacts. Of course, now there were not 2 but 3, thanks to the item that transcended time. But their function still seems to resonate. That is... Her eyes widened. Are you that person? She looks at me with wide eyes, holding her norigi. I can't speak. What should I say? What can I say? Just then, flash. The norigi in her hand shines brightly and suddenly turns into a bright brilliance. And then the light flows into the norigi I am holding and merges into it. The one I brought is the norigi of Bukhyang Hwa, transcending time. In other words, it's hers from the future. As if the world does not allow 2 completely identical things to exist. Her norigi from the past is sucked into the one I am holding and absorbed. FCZZZT. Soon after, the norigi in my hand, having absorbed Bukhyang Hwa's, shines even brighter. It appears to have become firmer and more mysterious than before. By overlapping the same artifacts, has the grade of the Dharma treasure risen. Lost in thought at the mysterious phenomenon, Hyang Hwa too looks astonished. So when the same artifacts meet, this happens. I've learned something new, but that norigi was also my mother's heirloom. She seems somewhat sad. Her expression, gestures, actions, habits, breathing, heartbeat. All of it is her. She is alive. By the way, since you've come all this way with the norigi, why don't you come in and have some tea? Then, I realize from her tone of voice. She is not the person I loved. Drip, drip. She is not the her who shared the same time with me, the same feelings, the same pain. You don't know me. Yes. I absent-mindedly wipe away my tears and speak. No, it's nothing. I have anticipated this. My disciples, my master, countless Kim Young-hoons. I have been preparing for this moment since the time I couldn't meet them. But now that it's actually happening, I can't help but feel bitterly cold. Seeing her stirred a tempest in my heart. Perhaps that's why. I hand her the norigi. Your mother's heirloom was absorbed, so I can't keep it. Please take it. Really? It's fine for me, but are you sure you can just give away the token of fate? Token of fate, huh? Do you know? The person your mother intended to connect you with is already married and dead. The real token is probably buried with him by Wu Yang's hand in his grave. I heard you were to marry the person who brought the norgi. Feeling an indescribably complex emotion, I placed the norgi in her hand. I'm sorry, but I will give you this norgi and leave. Yes, I look at her face and feel relieved. At the same time, sad looking into her eyes. My her is alive, but she doesn't know me. If only we had died at the same time that day, we could have been together in the afterlife. I already have someone I love. Holding back tears is easy, but holding back emotions is difficult. If someone else reads my intent, they might have cried with me. Thank you for keeping the token while waiting for fate, but I no longer need that token. Please take it and live freely. You don't have to live waiting anymore. Wait a moment. Barely suppressing my boiling emotions, I turn my back and leave the magic artifact shop. A brief but intense encounter. But I force myself to step away and turn my back. If I don't turn my back now, I might fall there and cling to her, weeping madly. I would never leave this place again. Swoosh. I leave the magic artifact shop and board the nether crossing ship. Quickly go anywhere. All right. Whirring. Ghostly mist envelops the nether crossing ship, and we immediately move to another place. Who was that man? Buck Hyung Hwa recalls the man who suddenly came to give her his token and left. She was bewildered. For years, the signal from the connected magic artifacts had not been detected. Then suddenly signals started appearing from two places. She thought the magic artifact was broken, but when she checked it was fine, leaving her confused. And a few days ago, one of the two signals disappeared. Unbeknownst to her, that was when Wu Yang had placed the Norigi in a shrine to honor his great-grandson's spirit. Seeing the signal return to one, she felt a subtle trembling and tension. It seemed like he might come to find her at any time. Of course, the pair her mother had made for her could have died long ago, and a third person could have found the magic artifact. But she had been unable to sleep for several days. And today, the him she had been fantasizing about had come. Surprisingly, he spoke the story of the token related to her Norigi. She was shocked. Doesn't that mean he is the match her mother had mentioned? Realizing this, she felt a strange fluttering and trembling feeling. But contrary to her various expectations, he simply gave her his Norigi and ran away, saying he already had someone he liked. In truth, she had somewhat anticipated this outcome. Her mother had wished for her to form a bond or marry the person with the Norigi. But in reality, there was no guarantee the other party would honor the promise. Even if he didn't keep the promise, the fact that he crossed the desert to deliver the Norigi to inform her of this means his character is respectable enough. He seemed like a good person. She sighed, thinking of the late-stage chi refiners who had been following her around lately. If only there were someone with even half the character of that man, I would have considered it. They were just immature late-stage chi refiners. Buck Hyung Hwa looked outside for a moment, and then at the Norigi. Her Norigi and his had merged, emitting a more mysterious aura. Her mother, lacking a spiritual root, had some skill in crafting magic artifacts. Perhaps due to her lineage from the Gongmyo Sik's bloodline, her mother, who had the talent for making magic artifacts, did produce quite good quality ones. However, Buck Hyung Hwa was well aware of her mother's skills. It has been a long time since she surpassed her mother with her own talents. And she thought about the Norigi her mother had made. Two magic artifacts merging into one, and this strange, sacred aura. Did my mother really make this? It seems more like a Dharma treasure than a magic artifact. As she curiously examined the Norigi. Drip. Hyung Hwa suddenly wiped her eyes. Did something get in my eye? Thump thump. Somehow she felt a pain in her heart. And looking at the Norigi, she suddenly felt overwhelmed with emotion. Wait a moment. Drip dripping. The tears wouldn't stop. Somehow, emotions she didn't even know she had surged up. Hyung Hwa felt her heart trembling wildly as she thought of the man who had just left. I know. She had to catch him. Somehow she strongly felt this urge. Bang! With trembling legs, she stumbled and rushed towards the entrance of the magic artifact shop. But he was nowhere to be seen in the vicinity. Whoosh! In the clear desert sky, strangely, a black ghostly mist dispersed into the air. As if possessed, she boarded a flying magic artifact and rose into the sky to look around. He was nowhere to be found. With trembling hands holding the norgi, feeling the tears falling from her chin, she thought. Why? Her heart ached so much. What is this feeling? She bit her lip. I must find him. She had to ask him. What is this feeling? What has he done to her? Buck Hyunghwa wiped away the sudden tears and resolved. I will find him. No matter where he is, no matter where he goes. She will find him and ask. That was her decision. Who did you meet? Just an acquaintance. Is that so? Songjin speaks to me. Why don't you try learning the ghostly arts of the Black Ghost Valley, the death energy accumulated in various parts of your soul, and the intense emotional fluctuations you just displayed? They seem highly compatible with the sects techniques. I'll decline learning devilish arts, and I decided to receive something else from Songjin. Do you have a method called Devil Legion Terracotta Scroll in the Black Ghost Valley? Yes, it exists. It's a cultivation method that no one practices, always sitting in the corner of our archives. How do you know about it? I heard about it before. Could you give me that manual? I would like to learn it. It's only at the level of chi building methods. A method that can resonate with my Dharma treasure. Now that I have given the Norigi to Hyunghwa, I want to resonate more deeply with the colorless glass sword. Songjin readily hands over the Devil Legion Terracotta Scroll, and after I memorize its essence, I speak to him. Thank you, and I have a few more requests. I move to another place with Songjin's nether crossing ship. My emotions are boiling too fiercely. I wanted to do something quickly to calm them down. In the southeast of Byokra, the Byok clan resides here. I arrive at the top of the Byok clan's main house with the nether crossing ship. Maybe I should use the blood body here. I raise the blood body controlled by my consciousness, resembling Yuan Li. Whoosh! Through the blood body, I create a mask of devilish energy on its face, making it look exactly like Yuan Li. Whoosh! Yuan Li's blood body flies into the sky and lands above the Byok clan's estate. Soon after, feeling the commotion of the nether crossing ship and the presence of Yuan Li, Byok Chingyi and the elders of the Byok clan hurry out. Lord Bloodwood, what brings you here? Byok Chingyi quickly sets up a soundproof barrier around us and asks. I speak through the blood body's mouth. Bring all the spirit stones of your clan here. Yes, yes. Did you not hear me? I command you to bring all the spirit stones of your clan. But how? Enough talk. Whoosh! Through the blood body, I sense the 5 elements blood curse banners embedded in the heads of Byok Chingyi and clan elders. So he's been operating in secret for hundreds of years, embedding them all in their heads. Zizizite. Ayag. Agalig. Perhaps due to extracting only about 1/20th of the power of the 5 elements blood curse banners. The core formation cultivators of the Byok clan are in agonizing pain, but they somehow manage to endure. Too much talk. This is for a greater plan, so stop complaining and bring all the spirit stones. All right. Soon after, under Byok Chingyi's command, the cultivators of the Byok clan bring millions of spirit stones and place them in front of the blood body. These are all the spirit stones in our main house. There are about 10% as many stones scattered across our territories, but it will take too long to gather them. That's enough, this will do, and one more thing. I speak through the blood body. You mentioned discovering relics of the Zhou clan and researching them, right? Yes. Bring all relics of the Zhou clan, especially those related to the devilish path that sacrifices human lives, whether they are cultivators or mortals, as well as poisonous manuals or techniques, here. It's better not to replicate them recklessly. Yes. As I menacingly move the 5 elements blood curse banners, Byok Chingyi replies with trembling lips. Soon, they bring the requested items to the blood body. Whoosh! I open the blood body storage device and receive everything, loading the spirit stones onto the nether crossing ship. That's enough, stay quiet for now. I will contact you again. Understood, please take care, Lord Bloodwood. The core formation cultivators of the Byok clan bow to the blood body, and I control it to board the nether crossing ship, asking Song Jin to take me to the Chingmun clan. This should make up for the betrayal in the past life. Thinking of the moment when Byok Chingi chose to throw the heaven-sealing talisman instead of the heaven-striking talisman to kill Yuan Li. Frankly, it was infuriating. But be grateful for having a son like Byok Munseong. I decided to let the Byok clan off this lightly because of Byok Munseong's presence. They're not a completely depraved, devilish clan like the Makli clan, after all. And since I have also recovered all the devilish arts and refining methods discovered in the Zhou clan's ruins, they wouldn't develop like the Makli clan. Kagagugu. As I am sorting through these thoughts, the nether crossing ship already arrives at the Chingmun clan. I once again move Yuan Li's blood body and reveal myself to the Chingmun clan. Kagagugu. Behind Yuan Li, I unleash the aura of treading heaven beyond the path, pressing down on the Chingmun clan. Soon after, Chingmun Yungjin, the head of the Chingmun clan, and the clan's elders appear. Are you a nascent soul senior? Yes. What graces us with your presence to the Chingmun clan? Chingmun Yungjin asks with a serious expression, looking at the blood body. I move the blood body's mouth to speak. I have noticed someone of interest. A cultivator named Chingmun Ryong from the Chingmun clan is quite knowledgeable in the way of understanding before breakthrough. He is known as one of the 3 great experts in chi building, and his fame is widespread. I have read his books and I am impressed. He truly is a master of understanding before breakthrough knowledge. Therefore, I have come to support him and his clan, the Chingmun clan. Kagagugu. I unload the several million spirit stones from the Byok clan in front of the Chingmun clan's courtyard. Chingmun Yungjin's eyes widened in shock at the sudden influx of enough spirit stones for the entire clan. Thank you. And I continue. I will ask the owner of this nether crossing ship, Senior Song Jin of Black Ghost Valley, to make an arrangement. From now on, if you provide spirit stones, you will be granted the right to ride this nether crossing ship. Take the cultivators of the Chingmun clan, who mainly practice would attribute methods to the serving command palace frequently to accumulate spiritual power. I pass on my insights of wood attribute methods, and a scroll that can break through the prohibitions of serving command palace. Hearing my words through the blood body, Chingmun Yungjin, the core formation elders, and even the chi-building elders of the Chingmun clan who had come out to listen to our conversation bow deeply to me. Thank you, Sini. Enough, I shout, cutting off the council of elders, especially Chingmun Ryong, who was slowly bowing his head. As expected. This is why I had the blood body deliver it instead of myself. If I had to hear senior and receive thanks from Chingmun Ryong, it would be too painful. But still, hearing it through the blood body is heart-wrenching. That's enough, no need for thanks. It's an order now. Take care. Do your best to support Chingmun Ryong so he can reach the core formation stage. After quickly conveying my wishes, I board the nether crossing ship and ask Song Jin to take me to Shengzi. Whoosh! The ghostly mist envelops the nether crossing ship once more, and we sail through space. Huh? Chingmun Yungjin chuckles, looking at the pile of spirit stones before him and Chingmun Ryong, who looks bewildered. He approaches Chingmun Ryong and pats his shoulder. Ryong, your efforts have not been in vain. These gifts from the respected senior are because they were impressed by your writings and theories. Is that so? Stand tall, Ryong. Everyone listen up. The spirit stones that have been gifted are under Ryong's name. 1/3 of them will be used for Ryong. Any objections? The elders and late-stage, chi-refining cultivators of the Chingmun clan answer loudly. None. Chingmun Yungjin laughs heartily. First, organize these spirit stones. And Ryong, I'll help you as best as I can, so let's focus on advancing to the core formation stage from today onwards. That senior hopes for your advancement to core formation and gave us so many gifts. We can't disappoint him. Chingmun Ryong, after a moment of silence, speaks with a trembling voice. Thank you. Kagagugu. The nether crossing ship arrives above the Jinlu clan in Shengzi. The Jinlu clan is the last of the traitor clans of the Western 3 kingdoms. I have crushed the Makli clan and extracted spirit stones from the Byok clan. But what about the Jinlu clan? The Byok clan was spared to some extent because of Byok Munseong, despite my resentment against them. The Mackley clan was destroyed not only due to my resentment, but also because of their usual cruel deeds. But the Jinlu clan, there is neither the usual resentment nor the cruel actions. At the same time, there are no good memories like with Byok Munseong. So then, after some contemplation, I descend upon the Jinlu clan with Yuan Li's blood body. Shortly after, Jinlu Yonchen, the head of the Jinlu clan and core formation elders appear. Oh my, what brings Lord Bloodwood to this far western end? Jinlu Yonchen approaches the blood puppet with a captivating voice. I activate the blood curse banners embedded in her and the other elders through the blood body. Zzzzt. Ugh. Agru. In an instant, their entire core formation force is incapacitated. From now on, I speak through the blood body's mouth. I will inform you of the forces in the northern grasslands and the eastern states with the 5 elements blood curse banners embedded in them. Go around the north and east and collect 2 million spirit stones, or equivalent value, from each of them. Whoosh. I summon a blood curse banner through the blood body's hand. Whoosh. The blood curse banner becomes a red flag tattoo that lands on Jinlu Yonchen's hand. Using this, you can activate the 5 elements blood curse banners embedded in individuals 3 times. Find them, collect the spirit stones under my name, and deliver all of them to the Chungmun clan under my name. To the Chungmun clan, you say? Yes, and this is for when everything is over. Open it after you've completed your task. Inside the letter are instructions for your next steps. If you open this letter before completing the task, a curse written in the letter will activate, alerting me, so do not open it recklessly. Yes, I will heed your command. I hand her the letter with the curse attached. Jinlu Yonchen carefully places the letter in her storage artifact. Carry out my command. Inside the letter, once everything is over, dedicate everything of the Jinlu clan to the Chungmun clan and become a subordinate force to them. That is the command I wrote. It's also a punishment for the Jinlu clan. She will probably like it. A command that would make Jinlu Yonchen happy. A command that would make everyone happy. And now the last part. I fly to a village with the Nether crossing ship. It's a familiar village. A village that suffered from the tyranny of a centipede demon. This time, I land in the village with my actual body. The villagers are wide-eyed seeing me descend from the sky. I ask the village head. Beyond that peak, there lives a centipede demon, correct? Yes, that demon has been taking our young men and women. I'll take care of it. In return, do me a favor. What is the favor? In this village, using internal energy, I sketch the face of a child to whom I read the book of fairy tales in my past life. Is there a child who looks like this? Oh, that would be the bookshop owner's daughter. Yes, she's here. I have a request for her. Please guide me to her. I followed the village head's guidance to find the child. That book, it certainly wasn't ordinary. There must be some hidden secret in it. In my previous life, consumed with anger, I hadn't thought to delve further into its secrets. But in this life, it seems worth investigating. The owner of the village bookshop is an elderly scholar, and the child, known as his daughter, is playing with dolls nearby. I approach them and ask, "Do you by chance have a book of fairy tales?" The scholar's response makes me jolt. "A book of fairy tales? We don't deal with such childish books here." "What?" I explain the contents of the fairy tales, asking if they have a book of such stories. Upon hearing my description, the scholar, looking annoyed, goes inside and rummages through his books for a while. There's nothing like that here. And stories about the Ender. I have lived and studied in this region for 20 years but have never heard of such traditional fairy tales. Although I often read books with similar tales and sayings to children, I have never come across a book mentioning a supreme deity or the Ender. Translator notes, it feels like Seo Yunhyan is resolving his karmic ties. Though he'll probably speedrun this every cycle in the future, it does remind me of the immortal among mortal arcs and other Xianxia. // Discord https://dsc gg/wetread. Link to donations in the Discord. Chapter 138, Beihui 5. Translating novice. Is the fairy tale book I saw really non-existent? I thought it was just a common fairy tale. But it turns out to be a non-existent fairy tale. No then, why is the book that was definitely here in the previous cycle now gone? This is strange. It's too strange. Why did this happen? My thoughts, chasing each other's tails, soon lead me to the remnants of fate left by the golden deity Yang Sujin. Yes, certainly those remnants had set up an attraction of fate near Shattered Heaven Peak, and to see those remnants, an unbelievable miracle of chance is needed. Perhaps that fairy tale is also like that. It too could be a story that can only be seen by being drawn into the attraction of fate set up by Yang Sujin, or someone else. And to see it, does one need to realize some kind of miraculous chance? There's definitely a possibility. If it's something left behind by a true, immortal equivalent like Yang Sujin. Perhaps that strange content of the fairy tale can only be seen again after passing through an unbelievable miracle of chance. I nod my head as I ponder. I understand. If you ever find such a book, please be sure to tell me. I speak to the little girl playing with dolls beside me. If you see a book with such fairy tales, or if such fairy tales come to your mind, be sure to tell me. It's very important to me. Yes, the girl answers brightly, hugging her 7 dolls. But where is your sister? Sister, what sister? My child is an only daughter. The scholar speaks to me with a slightly uncomfortable expression. What? I feel something strange again. I feel like I've forgotten something. An indescribable sense of unease. Ah, right, that's right. This little girl said in her past life that she was waiting for her parents. Why did I suddenly blurt out the word sister? Anyway, thank you. After expressing my gratitude, I decide to go ahead and deal with the centipede demon as planned. With a swift movement, I jump over the peak. There I see the centipede demon's lair. And, clang, 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 I see martial artists swinging their swords in front of the centipede's cave. Ah, those must be the ones. They seem to be the martial art experts hired by the village chief. They are vigorously emitting sword energy, swinging their weapons at the centipede demon. But their sword energy can't even scratch the centipede demon's carapace, and instead, they are vomiting blood from the demon's poison. Die, die, you monster! One martial artist charges at the centipede demon, coughing blood. The centipede demon opens its mouth wide to welcome him, ready to tear off his head. In a flash, instantly, I insert myself between them. Whoosh! My palm's energy gently wraps around the martial artist and safely ejects him outside the cave, while my formless sword strongly pushes back the centipede demon. Boom! The centipede demon is knocked back, vomiting blood. Oh, what? What in the world? I extend my hand to the martial artists sitting on the ground, vomiting blood. Swish! My formless sword touches their acupoints, seeping into their meridians, and forcibly operates their vital energy, chi. And then, bam! Cough, cough! Herk! As my formless sword guides their vital energy, the accumulated poison of the centipede demon is expelled through their mouths. I've removed the basic poison, but you should seek a doctor for further treatment. I can't help with the poison that has penetrated too deeply. After saying this, I slowly approach the centipede demon. Kiyaguk, kiyaguk. You. I speak to it in demon language. On closer inspection, the centipede demon, while being wary of me, does not flee deeper into the cave. Beneath it there are grains like rice, smaller than a fingernail and densely packed its eggs. The demon does not flee, emitting poison to protect its eggs. Seeing this, I momentarily sheathe my formless sword. Leave. If you swear never to eat humans again, I'll let you go. Kidaruk Tiiruk. The centipede demon hesitates for a moment, then speaks. My offspring to make them like me, how? It expresses despairing intent, stuttering in its speech. How will survive, lonely? I am, O great one, rather here now kill me. The centipede demon speaks with a resigned tone. My flesh and blood take remaining offspring become like me, please, kill. It's a fierce maternal love. When I am contemplating whether to kill the demon or not. From behind, the martial artist who had rushed at the centipede demon earlier, now coughing blood, runs and kneels before me. Greetings to the revered one, I dare to make a request of you. What is it? I turn to him and ask. Please tear that monster to pieces, kill it as painfully as possible. Since the centipede demon and I converse in demon language, he, unaware of our conversation, cried out with tears in his eyes. It ate my lover, please kill it, I beg of you. Hearing this, I turn back to the centipede demon. What am I even hesitating about? Maternal love is certainly noble, but this creature has eaten innocent people. Moreover, the words of the martial artist, whose lover was eaten, caused a throbbing pain in my heart. Looks like you need to die. Do you have any last words? I raise my hand again, looking at the centipede demon. The centipede demon bows to me, saying, "My offspring, not like me, but like you, a great being, please help them." The centipede demon kept bowing its head, not caring about its own death. "Just offspring, please." "All right, I'll try." I approach the centipede demon and place my hand on its head. Poof! My formless sword passes through its entire body, instantly severing all nerves and turning its brain to mush. It probably didn't feel any pain. "It's done. Thank you so much." As the centipede demon died, the martial artist, shedding tears of gratitude, bowed to me. I then look at the place where the centipede demon had been lying. There lay thousands of centipede eggs, tightly packed. They look like ordinary centipede eggs, rather than those of a demon centipede. Actually, I can't sense any spiritual aura from them. They are just normal eggs that haven't inherited any of the centipede demon's powers. I transfer all the tiny, rice grain-sized eggs into my storage artifact. I'm not sure if it'll work, but I'll give it a try. After looking at the centipede for a moment, I pass by the martial artists expressing their gratitude and return to the village. The centipede has been dealt with. Thank you. Please accept this as a token of our gratitude, immortal. I look at what the village chief is offering me. It's a clean white Taoist robe, the garment worn during the twin immortals' dance in this village. I'll accept it gratefully. I take the white Taoist robe from him and change into it. Clad in it, I am reminded of my past life. It's nice. I savor the memory for a moment. It's the best gift, thank you. With that, I leap back onto the nether crossing ship. Now for the last request, Senior. Why have you been traveling so much? All right, where's the next destination? I tell him. Serving Command Palace. The ship roars as it sails towards Serving Command Palace. I penetrate the golden prohibition of the palace's outer walls and enter within. Still the same. Inside, I search around and acquire the necessary items. Various immortal wines, especially the white red wine. And then, now that I think about it, I find the pipe artifact. A long, slender bamboo pipe. Isn't this a magic artifact that imbues ordinary beasts with spiritual enlightenment? I carefully read the description of the artifact. Magic artifact, demon immortal bamboo. After lighting and inhaling, if you expose a beast to its spiritual energy, the beast has a 1 in 10,000 chance of gaining spiritual enlightenment. If used on one beast, it should not be used again on the same creature for at least 5 years due to its potent nature, as it may lead to death. For demon beasts, even those in the chi building stage, exposing them more than twice a month can be lethal, and for core formation stage demon beasts, once every 7 days is the limit, while nascent soul stage demon beasts can be exposed daily. The thought of using it on the centipede demon's offspring seems foolish. It's not even some kind of radioactive waste. At this level, it seems less like an artifact for nurturing demon beasts and more like a method of killing them with toxic smoke. Despite my disbelief, I put the bamboo pipe in my storage device, just in case. I continue searching and find another useful item. 2 heaven-sealing talismans. These talismans are said to provide heavenly being stage defense. Thanks to this talisman, I glance subtly at Yuan Li's blood body. That moment of immense despair caused by this guy came to my mind. I should keep it for now. I also put the heaven-striking talisman into the storage artifact. After doing so, there's nothing left to get from Serving Command Palace. Then now, shall I try to obtain the Serving Command Seal? Kugwagu. I take out the red formation flags given by Yuan Li from my storage artifact. Kuwung. As the blood body forms a seal, the magic artifacts emit light, attracting the power flowing inside the Serving Command Palace. And then, Kugwagu. The magic artifacts internally collide the powers of Serving Command Palace, starting to break down the floors of the palace one by one. I deflect all the debris falling from the top of the longevity tree. Kuwuwu. After a while, all the layers of Serving Command Palace have collapsed, and light begins to flash in the sky. Pay it. The serving command seal. As I look at the seal, Songjin and Seo ran into the inside of serving command palace. Songjin's eyes shine as he looks at the seal. The serving command seal, it's been a while. He asks me, why do you want to obtain the serving command seal? Are you trying to ascend in the traditional way like that Yuan Li guy? Isn't there a saying that the serving command seal tracks heavenly fate? I ask, holding the serving command seal. Heavenly fate? Heavenly fate is indeed good, but if you receive the blessing of the serving command seal, don't carry it around in your pocket when ascending. The holder of the serving command seal is drawn by the serving command seal connected to this world and fate's attraction, making ascension difficult. Eventually, you'll have to return to this world. Haha. I grin. That is exactly it. Investigate the ascension gate, keeping the serving command seal with me. In that case, even if I get caught in a spatial storm, I would eventually return to this world, right? My goal is not ascension, but to investigate ascension gate. While I am looking at the serving command seal, pay it. Light bursts from the serving command seal, scattering brilliance around me. Somehow I feel lighter. The blessing of the serving command seal. Usually, you have to touch it to receive the blessing. Seems you are born with a strong fate. Really? Didn't you know? Serving command seal responds to fate, reacting more strongly to those born with a strong fate. The same goes for its blessings. The fact that the serving command seal bestowed its blessings on you without you touching it means that you are born with an immense fate. Is that so? It's a new fact. My fate. Certainly, it is a bit strong. As soon as I try to step out of the framework of fate, the heavens would throw lightning like crazy. Holding the serving command seal, I speak. Anyway, I have a favor to ask you, Senior. What now? I hand Songjin the structural diagram of a formation and the blueprint of the formation's magic artifacts. If you install these formations and magic artifacts on the first layer of serving command palace and activate them, after 5 years, the longevity fruit will ripen in serving command palace. Please give one to Taoist Seo. Huh? Songjin looks at me with surprised eyes. You keep giving things. At this rate, my debts will never disappear. Haha, I just need you to do me one favor. I request him. When the longevity fruits ripen, please deliver the fruit to a man named Kim Young-hoon in Yangyuo. Why don't you deliver it yourself? I have my reasons. Going to investigate the Ascension Gate, I might die getting caught in a spatial storm. I could become a lost soul in space. Or I could be marked by a great boundary being, observing this place from outside this world and die. Therefore, it's right to ask beforehand. This is my last request. Thank you very much for your help so far. He looks at me for a while. Are you trying to ascend to the upper realm at your current level? Songjin seems to realize my intention and asks in surprise. It's too sudden. Why are you moving so hastily? We cultivators have hundreds of years. Of course, the ascension path hasn't closed yet, but there will be another opportunity in 1,000 years. With your talent, you can definitely reach the great perfection of heavenly being and prepare for ascension in about 1,000 years. 1,000 years. I give a bitter smile. Perhaps even after 1,000 years, I will still remain at this level. Songjin tilts his head, seemingly puzzled. But I know my own talent well. Even after 1,000 years, it would be fortunate if I can barely reach the nascent soul stage with my cultivation methods. Even if my martial skills are several steps ahead someone like Kim Young-hoon. After all, I am not Kim Young-hoon. 1,000 years is too long. Anyway, it's something I have to investigate at least once. Perhaps this life, having not formed many connections, is the most appropriate time to investigate the Ascension Gate. When I handed the Norigi to Buk Hyung-hwa, my decision solidified. I won't meet her again in this life, even if I live for 1,000 years. If I do meet her again, I feel I wouldn't be able to restrain myself. Anyway, it's my choice, please respect it. Well, do as you please. Since my disciple has received much help from you, I will fulfill the tasks you've requested. They're not difficult anyway. Songjin crosses his arms and nods. Then we leave serving command palace and head back towards Ascension Path. Whoosh! A dark ghostly ship crosses the sky. The nether crossing ship emerging from the void is floating in the sky. When I asked why we didn't use spatial travel through the void, it was because frequent use would strain the nether crossing ship. By the way, do you know anything about the upper realm, Senior Songjin? Of course. At least, what that Yuan Li guy mentioned is a well-known fact among the upper echelons of major forces. Songjin, holding the ship's steering wheel, continues his explanation. Especially factions with a deep history like Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder Sect, Black Ghost Valley, Mighty Tiger, Holy Peng, and Sea Dragons. Ancestors who ascended through the Ascension Gate have occasionally contacted us over the long history. May I ask what you know regarding the upper realm? I don't know much in detail. Really, we only get contacted once every few thousand years. But about 4,000 years ago, one of the ancestors from the upper realms who contacted Black Ghost Valley said that the spiritual energy in the upper realms is hundreds of times more abundant than in Ascension Path, and there are no mortals in the upper realm. No mortals? That's right. I also thought it was unbelievable when I first heard it. In the upper realms, due to the immense heaven and earth spiritual energy, babies become chi-gathering cultivators from the moment of conception. They are born as cultivators. Some with a bit more talent are born already at the first or second stage of chi refining. Isn't it unbelievable? I have no words for the ridiculousness of what I just heard. The entire concept of mortals doesn't exist there. How high must the density of spiritual energy be for such a thing to be possible? Songjin chuckles at my expression. Also in the upper realms, people reach the chi-building stage as early as their early 20s. By their 40s and 50s, everyone reaches that stage. Those over 200 years old are mostly core formation cultivators. From the nascent soul stage, substantial enlightenment is required, so the numbers drop there. Still, isn't it unfair? Some have to grind people down to reach chi-building, while others just breathe to reach the same destination. Haha. Really, it's unbelievable. I smile bitterly. Such a place would not have clans like the Mackley clan. Moreover, although I don't know in detail, the human race seems to be considered somewhat of a ruling class and enjoys quite a high status. The upper realm quite frankly seems like a paradise. Tusk. This is the extent of the information I can provide. The rest of the more confidential information is subject to restrictions and is classified, so I can't disclose it recklessly. I see, thank you. Kulua. In the distance, I see the barrier covering Ascension Path. Standing next to Songjin, I suddenly think of something else and ask. I'm curious. There's a place called the Nether Ghost Realm among the upper realms, and it sounds related to Black Ghost Valley. Is there any connection? It seems obviously related to Black Ghost Valley. Yuan Li said he didn't know about Ancient Force, Nether Ghost, and Purple Gold realms. But maybe Songjin does. Songjin strokes his chin and replies. I do know. Before the Ascension Gate appeared, the main upper realm for ascension for Black Ghost Valley was the Nether Ghost Realm. Just out of pure curiosity, why then does Black Ghost Valley ascend to the Bright Cold Realm connected to the Ascension Gate instead of the Nether Ghost Realm? It's because ascending through the Ascension Gate is much safer and more certain, and also. He ponders for a moment and continues. The information from here onwards is confidential, and I cannot disclose it directly, but. He chuckles. Why do the devilish sects not ascend to the true devil realm but choose the bright cold realm, which is said to be at war with it? Yuan Li spoke of a war, but he only knows outdated information. Perhaps there's a reason everyone is choosing to ascend to the bright cold realm. Could it be that the war between the true devil realm and the bright cold realm is turning in favor of the bright cold? I nod in understanding. Then I strike the barrier of Ascension Path with my formless sword. Kuguaguang. The formless sword splits the barrier, creating a large entrance for the nether crossing ship. Kulua. The nether crossing ship doesn't stop and flies towards the center of Ascension Path. And then a familiar scene appears. Kurung. Thunderclouds are rolling in. Below the thunderclouds, a bisected steel absorbs heavenly lightning. Beyond the steel, a glowing spatial gate the size of a human torso resides. It's the Ascension Gate. Kuguagu. Before the area riddles with spatial rifts, the nether crossing ship descends. Then I thank you for everything up to now. Do well and take care. Senior, must you really ascend now? Haha, don't worry about me, Taoist CEO. Just deliver the longevity fruit to Kim Young-hoon as I requested. Songjin and Seo ran. Their expressions differ, but both radiate the intent of concern for me. After bidding them farewell, I take out the centipede eggs from my storage artifact. Well, I may not be able to do much, but if they feed on the dense spiritual energy of the ascension path and continue to grow, maybe they'll become demon beasts as their mother wished for. I light the immortal demon bamboo and fan its smoke over the centipede eggs. The probability of becoming a demon beast will increase, albeit very slightly, with the dense spiritual energy of ascension path. Just then, Kragkrazazog. Whether it's due to the time, the effect of immortal demon bamboo, or the ascension path's energy, many baby centipedes hatch from their eggs. They scatter throughout the ascension path. Live well, everyone. As I'm about to put the bamboo pipe back in the storage artifact. A small baby centipede wriggles up onto my foot. I pick it up and place it elsewhere, but it keeps coming back and clinging to me. What's this? Just when I am wondering. Just let it stay. You have the serving command seal, right? The seal has granted you a fate that suits you. It's an affinity brought by fate, so it might be more beneficial to keep it with you. I see. After looking at the centipede for a moment, I pick it up and place it on my shoulder. I'm about to leave this world. Is that all right with you? The baby centipede doesn't respond. After staring at it for a while, I bid farewell to Song Jin and Seo Ran. Then I head towards the Ascension Gate. Well then, Kugwagu. About 15 days after my return, I approach the Ascension Gate that's about to close, with Yuan Li's blood body in front. Shall we investigate the Ascension Gate? As I approach the gate, I take out the 2 heaven-sealing talisman, activate one, and apply it to the blood body. Alright, now let's see. Just then, FDZZ fizz. Suddenly, the steel above starts to spark intensely with lightning. What's this? Then, without warning, flash, Kirururung. A sudden bolt of lightning strikes me. Kugwagu. Though not a heavenly rejection-level lightning, it was still immensely powerful. Had I not enveloped my whole body in the formless sword, I would have been roasted on the spot. As I grip my teeth against the lightning, a familiar figure appears before my eyes. A shadow engulfed in blood-red lightning, weeping blood. Yang Sujin. I tremble, recalling the shadow I had seen at Shattered Heaven Peak. Then the remnant of Yang Sujin speaks. Ender, seeing this remnant means that you have heard my true words left at Shattered Heaven Peak. I won't speak at length. If you are contemplating ascending to the upper realms, do not hesitate and quickly leave this grotesque world. This world is especially threatening to Enders. There's nothing good for you by staying in this world any longer. Hurry and depart from within this hideous head. Fya. The lightning ceases, and at the same time, my eyes widen in shock. Creek. The ascension gate created by Yang Sujin, like a living entity, opens its maw wide and lunges towards me. Woo-woo-woo. The serving command seal inside me howls madly, but then, thud, it's forcefully ejected from my embrace by some strong repulsive force. What? And at that moment, Kwaya, I am swallowed by the ascension gate. What on earth? Seo Ran yells as he watches, and Song Jin's ghostly fire burns with panic. FSSSH. The ascension gate, having devoured Seo Yunhyan, immediately closes shut. I've never seen such a phenomenon before. Normally, the ascension gate would open once, gradually shrink over several days, and finally disappear in a state as small as dust. The kind of phenomenon, where it devours a person like a living entity and closes abruptly, is unheard of. Thump thud thud. The serving command seal, repelled from Seo Yunhyan's embrace, rolls towards them. Swoosh. The ownerless serving command seal lays in front of them for a moment, and then is swept away into another spatial rift nearby. The serving command seal, with its inherent attraction of fate, is fated to return to the serving command palace. And in the liberation palace, it will wait to be freed, endlessly wandering the void. Song Jin and Seo Ran, having witnessed Seo Yunhyan's sudden devouring by the ascension gate, stand in silence, lost in their thoughts. Translator notes I got chills. / */ Discord https://dsc.gg/wetread. Link to donations in the Discord. Chapter 139, Ascension. Translating Novice. Kugwagu. Numerous sounds and rays of light brush past me. I grit my teeth, focusing on the formless sword throughout my body. My whole body feels like it's about to be crushed. Had it not been for the formless sword enveloping my body due to my attainments in treading heaven, my body would have instantly been crushed without a moment's notice. The heaven-sealing talisman. Gritting my teeth hard enough for my gums to bleed, I tack out the heaven-sealing talisman. Heaven-sealing talisman activate. Kugwagu. An immense force gathers in the talisman, and the power of the heaven-sealing talisman envelops my body. Heaven and earth spiritual energy even exists in spatial passageways. The heaven and earth spiritual energy wraps around my body, creating a dense barrier that prevents even a single strand of energy from leaking out. Cough hug. I spit blood, barely regaining consciousness. Damn it, what a mess this is. Inside the spatial passageway of the Ascension Gate, I am being pulled upwards towards some above. Killing. The blessing of the serving command seal within me is pulling me far away. Upon entering the Ascension Gate, the serving command seal's blessing became a definite force, pulling me along, and I realized that this force is terrifyingly abnormal. Kugwagu. Soon I'll probably reach the upper realm, but I grit my teeth, watching the barrier of the heaven-sealing talisman trembling madly all over my body. The heaven-sealing talisman seems to be losing its effect faster than I thought. There's a possibility it might break before I reach the upper realm. I clench my teeth, thinking of the serving command seal. Originally, even if I entered the Ascension Gate, I planned to return to that world with the power of the serving command seal. I didn't expect that the serving command seal itself would be repelled by some strange repulsive force. There's no other choice. I have to endure as much as I can. Kugwagu. I frown, watching the heaven-sealing talisman about to collapse any moment. This won't do, then. I look at Yuan Li's blood body, ascending alongside me. I recall one method of using the blood body, a technique passed down by Yuan Li. I form a seal together with the blood body. Blood body skin armor, open. At the same time, the blood body opens wide. Swoosh. Its internal organs, muscles, and inner body are all exposed. And then from within, all the organs and muscles turn into blood, and a space large enough for one person to squeeze in is seen forming. As I form a seal, the blood body flies towards me and envelops me. The blood body covers my whole body and soon seeps through every part of it. Kagagugu. As the blood body seeps through my muscle fibers, my entire body is further strengthened. The strength and regenerative ability of my physical body increases tremendously, and in an instant, I can feel that I am able to use all the techniques that the blood body can use. But what's most important is Wowung. The energy of the heaven-sealing talisman that had been residing in the blood body now merges with my heaven-sealing talisman, significantly extending the duration of the talisman's effect. Palat. The barrier of the heaven-sealing talisman, which seemed about to collapse at any moment, has now become more robust, and I can finally take a breath. Good, I don't know when I'll reach the upper realm, but at least I can hold out for a while. Now that I have some leeway for survival, I look around. Numerous beams of light and sound are brushing past me. Honestly, it's hard to discern what is what. Inside the Ascension Gate, perhaps there's a reason why we fell into this world here. I look around inside the Ascension Gate. The spatial passage leading to the upper realm. Piayet. Among the numerous beams of light, occasionally, stars that look like the universe reveal themselves. I catch glimpses of what seems to be countless spaces and dimensions, and then, down below, I faintly make out the form of the world I came from. That world is like, I see it and it sees me. Our eyes meet. It's a gigantic jade. Hyuk. What was that? What just happened? Payet. I realize I am still ascending to the upper realm. Numerous beams of light are still passing by around me. And from the scenes occasionally visible between the beams of light, I realize I have ascended quite a bit. Just now, my consciousness cut off for a moment. I hold my throbbing head. Why did I lose consciousness? Was it because of the spatial pressure? Even though there's the heaven-sealing talisman, considerable pressure is still being transmitted through. Of course, it's bearable, but there are times when the pressure intensifies suddenly, so it's possible that I lost consciousness due to the severe pressure at that moment. But right before losing consciousness, It seemed like I saw something. I hold my throbbing temples and try to gather my thoughts. Damn it, my head isn't working right. Fortunately, things are stabilizing. But the throbbing headache doesn't easily subside. And also, Kagagugu. It seems quite some time has passed since I lost consciousness, as the heaven-sealing talisman is already showing signs of collapsing. Damn, what do I do if the heaven-sealing talisman collapses? The pressure increased even more than before. The heaven and earth spiritual energy in the spatial passage becomes denser, but at the same time, the resistance beating against the heaven-sealing talisman becomes stronger. If this continues, once the effect of the talisman wears off, I will be crushed into a lump of flesh. I can't let that happen. While being pulled above, I take a stance. I will divert the pressure. I begin performing a sword dance towards the pressing force bearing down on me. Kim Young-hoon had certainly performed Foolish Old Man Moves Mountains by himself, a self-destructive technique that usually requires an opponent. The fact that he performed Foolish Old Man Moves Mountains towards empty space meant that. It means that the world itself can become the subject of martial arts. Cutting through the void itself, exchanging and merging with that emptiness, I enter the state of Foolish Old Man Moves Mountains. Of course, I have no intention of performing Foolish Old Man Moves Mountains to completion. But if it's just endless mountains beyond mountains. Shung shung shung. I swing my formless sword towards the void. What nascent soul cultivators call planes. I feel my sword brushing against the boundaries of dimension. Whim whim whim. Beyond the dimension. I feel my sword colliding with the vital force chi that makes up the world itself. Cut it. I slice through the vital force, and with that as a starting point, I perform a sword dance towards the immense pressure that is assaulting me. Whiz. Crack. My sword dance cuts through the spatial pressure. At the same time, the pressure on the heaven-sealing talisman decreases. I can't perform Foolish Old Man Moves Mountains, but I can still pour out every move from the beginning to the end without getting tired. Horizontal slash, lower 3 cuts, upward slash, stab, change moves, offense and defense as one. Countless moves burst out almost simultaneously, forming a single shape. Severing mountain. Woo-wash. The pressure above is split. Crag track. Despite this, an endless amount of pressure continues to squeeze me, and the heaven-sealing talisman is gradually losing its power. And then, at some moment, bang, crash. Finally, the heaven-sealing talisman exhausts its power. Faster, stronger. I resist the pressure squeezing my whole body and slice through the spatial pressure more quickly with the formless sword. But the pressure continues to gradually increase. Crag track. Despite cutting through, the residual pressure alone feels enough to crush my entire body covered in the formless sword. During this wriggle, I spot something wriggling on the other side of the spatial passage, swimming through space. What is that? That bizarre creature, seemingly living in the crevices of space, fortunately has no interest in me, but its momentum is not inferior to a heavenly being. Feeling a chill down my spine, I continue to cut through the pressure. Crag track. Even after being infused by the blood body for enhanced durability and regeneration, my whole body feels like it's about to be shattered by the spatial pressure. And then, when blood finally bursts from my 7 orifices, bang, boom, I vomit blood as I collide with a barrier that suddenly appeared in front of me. Woo-wash. Naturally, the formless sword cut through the barrier, and thanks to the inertia that had been pulling me along, I am finally able to enter above by piercing through the barrier. Bang. Kyuge cough gasp. I spit out a mouthful of blood. And then, I feel the ground beneath my hands. That terrible spatial pressure is no longer felt. A stable and much denser heaven and earth spiritual energy than what I felt in the previous world. Tens of times more spiritual energy than Ascension Path. Compared to typical areas in the previous world, it's hundreds of times more. Huff huff. I look around. This place. Upper realm. As I look around. Boom. What's this now? A giant in green armor appears before me. Interestingly, he's not made of flesh and blood like humans or demi-humans, but of wood and earth. And the pressure emanating from him. Quack kiug. I can't breathe. 4 axis. His pressure is outrageously beyond that of a heavenly being. Him just standing in my domain of consciousness makes me feel like my head is going to split open. I quickly abandon the thought of observing him and withdraw my consciousness. I try to look at him, but quickly lower my gaze to his shadow. Looking directly at him somehow made my eyes sore. An entity those below heavenly being can't even look directly at. A cultivator of the four-axis stage, breaking through the thin spatial barrier, and yet the aura is only at most the level of chi building. How suspicious. Has some strange creature from the void masqueraded as a human and infiltrated? Kagugu. The four-axis cultivator raises his hand. This is the same momentum I felt from her palm. I'm going to burst and die. My pupils shrink with tension and fear. I try to speak as I vomit blood. Just then, wait a minute. A familiar voice rings in my ears. The four-axis cultivator looks in one direction. I also look towards where the voice came from. There stood a familiar figure in blue armor, arms crossed. Chingmun Sunwu. It's a face I know. He's not a strange life form from the void. Wu Wash. The momentum that formed in the hands of the four-axis cultivator dissipates. Only then do I take a look around. Behind Azure Tiger Saint, there are several heavenly being cultivators who exude similar auras and nascent soul cultivators. And behind them, numerous burly figures with unusually powerful auras are positioned. Further back, Chief Ohiansiak is staring at me, eyes wide open. On both sides of Azure Tiger Saint stand a middle-aged man in golden robes and a gender-neutral figure in black devilish robes. The man in golden robes, the master of golden divine heavenly thunder sect, Jin Bayako. Behind him are several heavenly being cultivators emitting lightning energy, and a significant number of nascent soul cultivators. And many disciples of the golden divine heavenly thunder sect are also visible. Kaya, Jia, and the figure in black devilish robes, the grand elder of Black Ghost Valley, White Bone Ghost Devil Hioguak. Behind them, two nether crossing ships float in the air, and eerie valley sounds echo around. Furthermore, ho, this is an unexpected visit. A handsome young man with blue hair, wearing blue robes and antler-like horns on his forehead. Coatrial smiles gently as he looks at me. Behind Coatrial, several giant sea dragons exuding the energy of heavenly beings reveal themselves, with dozens of smaller sea dragons positioned behind them. Kings of the mighty tiger and holy Peng tribes are also present beside Coatrial, along with their tribe members. And then, Yuhuhu, what an odd situation. How did this kid get here? Mad Lord Zhou Yon. He stands a little apart from the other forces, hands behind his back, watching me and stroking his chin. Beside him, team leader Kim Yon is inexplicably lying on the ground, foaming at the mouth and unconscious. It doesn't look like the actions of the Mad Lord. Rather, the shock of withstanding the spatial pressure, even with his protection, seemed too significant. Everyone I had met on Ascension Path is gathered here. Then the four-axis entity speaks. Explain, you say you know this kid. Yes, that guy is definitely someone I saw before passing through the Ascension Gate when I was in the lower realm. We three met and even tested him. He's definitely a human, not a strange life form. Then how could this human of apparently chi-building stage ascend to the bright cold realm on his own? At the wooden man's words, Azure Tiger Saint coughs, seemingly unable to guess. Then Coatrial steps forward with a kind smile. Perhaps he too possesses some unique quality. Before our ascension through the Ascension Gate, we encountered a group of humans, and we confirmed that some of them had interesting qualities. So, before ascension, those thought to lack such qualities were abandoned, and each force took one of the talented for themselves, but it turns out, they all have unique talents. To think that he followed us and ascended on his own, it makes me a bit curious about what kind of talent the remaining human has. At Coatrial's explanation, the wooden man in green armor asks curiously. Unique qualities? What kind of unique qualities? Hello. At that, Coatrial grins and exchanges glances with the other three heavenly beings, even the Mad Lord. Mad Lord snorts but crosses his arms, keeping silent. Just unique qualities, but no matter how unique, they can't compare to the distinguished bloodlines and methods practiced by those in the bright cold realm, right? The three heavenly beings also laugh and nod. Well, they're a bit unique, but really nothing special. just talents that perfectly fit each sect's method. Him, the green-armored wooden man's eyes light up. It seems you're hiding something. Speak plainly. You've just ascended to the bright cold realm, why so secretive? Rumble. The wooden man's aura envelops the area. I struggled to breathe, falling to the ground and clutching my heart. Actually, it felt like my heart would stop any moment, and I had to forcibly keep it beating with my formless sword. Heavenly beings, how are they? Just then, suddenly the eyes of the heavenly being cultivators, initially subdued by the wooden man's aura, shined. And then Coatrial, hands behind his back, started walking towards us. This guy. Then, my eyes widened. Kagagugu. Coatrial's aura is rising, and the surrounding heaven and earth spiritual energy, hundreds of times denser than before, began to be absorbed by Coatrial. Krayak. Coatrial's aura began to push back the green-armored wooden man's aura. With each step he took, his aura grew stronger. I must say something to the bright cold realm, senior, lest there be any misunderstandings. What? Thud, thud, thud. Not only Coatrial, but also Jin Bayako, Guak, and Chingmun Sunwu approached. Absorbing the dense spiritual energy of the bright cold realm, their auras intensified even more. We are not like those who fled to the upper realms merely to extend their lives. Rather, we had already reached the peak of heavenly being and gained enlightenment towards the four axis, but had to ascend due to a lack of resources to elevate our cultivation. Rumble. Buzz, buzz. Suddenly, it became difficult to even look directly at Coatrial. I felt the same towards the other three heavenly beings. Boom. The next moment, a brilliant light burst from Coatrial, Jin Bayako, Guak, and Chingmun Sunwu, and their auras changed. Simultaneously, whoosh, the green-armored wooden man's aura was completely neutralized, and I finally found it easier to breathe. Even if you find the juniors from the lower realms somewhat lacking, we have worked hard in our own right and would appreciate a little respect. With the end of Coatrial's words, I once again look at them, or rather their shadows. In the blink of an eye, after absorbing the spiritual energy of the upper realm, they have become four-axis cultivators. The green-armored wooden man is suddenly surrounded by four-axis cultivators. What is this? How can you elevate your cultivation without undergoing heavenly tribulation? Haha, before ascending, Sect Master Jin of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder Sect used the sect's divine treasure to disperse the four-axis heavenly tribulation in advance. We reached the four-axis immediately, having already faced the tribulation beforehand, so it does not strike us now. Azure Tiger Saint laughs heartily and pats the shoulder of the green-armored wooden man. As they begin to pressure him. Rumble. In the sky, a massive aura stirs, and several more four-axis cultivators begin to descend. These ascenders are all quite special. Enduring added spatial pressure and ascending with their sects, they are monsters from the start. To possess such talent to reach four-axis immediately upon arrival. They look at Jin Bayako, Guak, Chingmun Sunwu, and Coatrial in awe. At the same time, Kagagugu. From the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder Sect, Black Ghost Valley, Azure Heaven Creation Sect, Mighty Tiger, Holy Peng, Sea Dragon, and others. Many heavenly being and nascent soul cultivators began to elevate their cultivation by absorbing the dense spiritual energy. Rumble. They too seem to have received help from the divine treasure of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder Sect. None of them particularly caused heavenly tribulation. Of course, none reached four-axis immediately like the first four. Rumble. And there, quietly beside them, Mad Lord Jo Yon seems to have broken through some stagnant bottleneck, but has not reached four-axis. He appears to have reached the peak of heavenly being, but likely, given his personality, he probably didn't accept help from the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder Sect and didn't face the tribulation in advance, so he couldn't immediately overcome the ascension tribulation and reach four-axis. As I survey the chaotic surroundings. Anyway, lower your auras, juniors. No matter how impressive your generation is, there are integration stage grand cultivators nearby in this flying immortal platform, so be careful. Seeing sects like Black Ghost Valley and Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder Sect, it seems you've ascended from the head realm. I'll guide your group to the human territory. And you, demon beasts. Kagagugu. Before the cultivators could finish speaking, far away, thunder and lightning struck, and dark clouds gathered in the sky. Soon after, the entity bringing the dark clouds descended. Kagugugagugu. It's a gigantic dragon. Larger even than Cohreal's original form, this four-axis dragon from the Earth Tribe's True Dragon Alliance landed among the Sea Dragon Tribe. I am Elder Gyurion of the Earth Tribe's True Dragon Alliance. This generation's head realm ascenders are indeed something. To have reached four-axis already, you demon beasts, follow me to the demon territory. Haha, we've heard of your fame even in the lower realm, Elder Gyurion. We appreciate your guidance. Cohreal greets Gyurion with a gentle smile, and Gyurion, seemingly a bit embarrassed upon seeing Cohreal's face, snorts. Anyway, let's get going. I don't want to be around these folks for too long. Gyurion declares, glancing briefly at the green-armored wooden man and the other human four-axis cultivators. Then turning to me, Cohreal says, please just wait a moment. There's a matter regarding this junior that needs to be addressed. With a gentle face, he extends his hand to me as I lay on the ground. Haha, this really getting caught between a dragon's fight always hurts the ant's back. I apologize for any distress. I don't know what unique talent you have, but it must have been difficult ascending all the way here, wasn't it? Thank you for your concern. I reply, getting up on my own without taking his hand. By the way, kid, just what kind of method did you use to follow us? Azure Tiger Saint asks, passing by the green-armored wooden man to approach me. Indeed, we left several days before him, and yet he managed to catch up just as we ascended. That's right, now that I think about it. Under normal circumstances, I shouldn't have been able to converse with them here. They had ascended days before me, and it's odd that I, who left much later, arrived in the upper realm at the same time. Mad Lord Joyon, who has been quiet, speaks with a chuckle. Seems like he has a special connection or fate with the upper realm. Even just considering the blessing of the serving command seal, those with stronger fates can reach the upper realm much faster, can't they? While it took us several days to barely ascend, this guy, with his extraordinary fate, might have managed it in just half a day. Kekek. Because of the serving command seal. It seems that, while they struggled for days to ascend through spatial pressure, I had ascended instantly thanks to the seal's blessing. Suddenly, the ground beneath me lights up and is covered by a strange barrier. It's called the Flying Immortal Platform. All cultivators ascending from the lower realms arrive here. Now that there are no more ascendants, the platform is closing, and the barrier we broke through is being restored. Cohreal explains while walking. The platform, now covered in a barrier, makes the surrounding space feel more stable. Cohreal asks me, "So what will you do?" He gestures around with a benevolent expression. "Your colleagues' talents have already been recognized. By ascending on your own, you've proven your exceptional talent as well. Since everyone has ascended, if you're as talented as they are, I wouldn't mind taking you with me. I'm quite interested in you." Intrigue sparkled in the eyes of everyone around me, including Cohreal. "Make your choice. We'll soon scatter according to the guidance of the Bright Cold Realm seniors. Which faction will you join?" Hearing this, I relax my entire body. My formless sword, which has been surrounding me, disperses into the air. Well, let's think about it. Just then, "Hey you!" The green-armored wooden man and other four-axis cultivators floating in the air, along with the dragon elder representing the True Dragon Alliance, all show signs of intense anger. What's happening? In my confusion, they react to my formless sword. Looking carefully, isn't this a spy from the Heart Tribe trained in the Heart Path method? I knew something was suspicious. What? Die, you spy. We'll extract your soul and interrogate you after death. Wait a m. Boom. I explode, not even realizing what hit me, and die instantly. Thus, I died right after succeeding in ascension. That is my 13th return. Translator notes, we've finally made it to the upper realm. Chapters 136-139 chunkiest chapters were all donated by Satino. Thanks for the support. // Discord https://dsc gg/wetread. Link to donations in the Discord. Chapter 140, 13th Cycle's First Day. Blinking, I open my eyes. Damn it, dying right after ascension, what a mess. As I'm rubbing my throbbing head, I pause. Wait. Something is off. What? I look around. This isn't the familiar forest. This place. Make your choice. We'll soon scatter according to the guidance of the bright cold realm seniors. Which faction will you join? What? Staring at Cohreal in front of me, my eyes widen as I survey my surroundings. This is atop the flying immortal platform where I had just died. Wait. Then it became clear. My point of return has been fixed to this place. Look here. I flinch at Cohreal's question. Cautiously observing the wooden man's reactions, I don't scatter my formless sword recklessly, instead concealing my energy within my body as I look around. Now that my point of return has unexpectedly moved itself. Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder Sect. Black Ghost Valley. Azure Heaven Creation Sect. The demon tribes heading towards the True Dragon Alliance. And various others like the Righteous and Devil Path Alliances. I have to choose among them. On the first day of my 13th return. Choose. I press my temples, looking around. Who should I choose? I don't even understand the current situation. The sudden fixation of my return point is overwhelming. This fixation means everything I did during the short time since I started my return is all permanent. The Norigi I gave to Hyangwa. The relationship between Songjin and Seo Ran. The longevity fruit I prepared for Kim Young-hoon. The death of Yuan Li and the disappearance of the Mackley clan. Whether good or bad, my actions are permanent. This means everything I've done so far. A feeling of indescribable emotion wells up in my chest. It wasn't meaningless. Even though I may not know when I will die, I have always given my best in everything I've done. Even if the lives were meaningless, the results of my actions, to which I've given my all, have now become meaningful as time has become fixed. I reflect on my actions and accomplishments in the lower realm. Ah, really? What a relief. That's what I thought when. Seems like you're deep in thought, says Cohreal, stroking his chin and slowing his pace. It looks like we need to leave now. Honestly, I'm quite interested in you. It isn't just Cohreal. Other demon tribe leaders, the kings of the Holy Peng and Mighty Tiger tribes, also look interested, implying that I look to be a useful talent. However, the eyes of the dragon behind them show dissatisfaction. What's so important about this leftover trash? It's a long journey from the Central Lands to the Earth Tribe's territory. We must depart quickly. It seems the Elder is in a hurry. We should go now. Yes, take care, Sir Dragon King. Ha, Dragon King, you say. I appreciate the words, but from now on, don't call me King. The real middle boundary demon kings might get angry. He chuckles, patting my shoulder, and turns to join Jairyon. I courteously see off Cohreal, having no intention of joining him at the moment. If I had gathered more information through several lives, maybe. Of course, if it was the True Dragon Alliance but the Sea Dragon tribe in the lower realm, I would have refused immediately, now or later. As Cohreal prepares to leave. Since you're a human, come with us. Whichever faction you choose, it won't be hard to settle in. The green-armored wooden man speaks, watching the situation with arms crossed. However, you don't want to choose anyone, do you? Mad Lord Jo-Yon from a distance speaks up with his eyes glowing. Kagagugu. He absorbs the spiritual energy of the bright cold realm, having already reached the grand perfection of heavenly being, just a step away from Four-Axis, demonstrating a presence akin to it. His not immediate advancement to Four-Axis, like the three heavenly beings in Cohreal, due to not using the heavenly lightning banner, proved his near Four-Axis strength as he spoke to me. If you want choose anyone, come with me. What are you really? I am so curious I could die. How can a person have such a hard essence? Ah, so interesting. I'll take you as my disciple, so follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me. Let's head to the light spirit pond together. His eyes, brimming with madness, stares at me, and I involuntarily step back. Then the green-armored wooden man frowns and speaks. I recognize your tremendous talent, but first, as you are a human, you must go to the human territory to receive your identity plaque. Where are you even saying you're planning to go? Both of you, just follow for now. At that moment, Mad Lord Jo-Yon laughs wildly, shaking his head. No, I don't want to. I need to gather materials to complete her. That's why I ascended to the upper realm. I need nothing else. I will find the light spirit pond in the bright cold realm to circulate blood in her body. How dare you? Do you not understand? I don't care why you came to the upper realm. First, You need to go to the human territory and... Suddenly, Mad Lord Joe Yon begins shaking his head violently. Don't want to, 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 don't order me. I'm heading to the light spirit pond right now. I must go there to complete her. Don't stop me, don't stop me. At Mad Lord Joe Yon's behavior, Cohrial, as well as the three newly ascended four-axis cultivators, begin to look tense. They each protect their factions with a barrier, retreating step by step. I also feel a chill down my spine at his behavior. That person, he always acts like that before doing something crazy. Running. I'm offering to evolve you into something greater. Yow. Recalling that horrific memory, I feel a chill enveloping my body. The green-armored wooden man's face distorts, angered by Mad Lord Joe Yon's attitude. Have you ever seen such a madman? In the lower realm, you may have been indulged as a heavenly being, but this is the bright cold realm. How dare this bastard cause a scene here? Rumble. Spiritual energy of heaven and earth gathers in the wooden man's hand. I'll properly teach you a lesson. Come try acting crazy. I'll get rid of you. And then, snap. Mad Lord Joe Yon suddenly stops and stares at the wooden man with glittering eyes. Get rid of me. Mad Lord Joe Yon brings his hands to his mouth. Crunch, snap. Get rid of me? Get rid. No. Ah, she said something. Everyone quiet. Ah, that's right. Did you hear? She gave me her opinion. Mad Lord Joe Yon, his eyes filled with insanity, continues talking while chewing his fingers till they bleed. As a celebration of my ascension to the bright cold realm, let's see how effective four-axis materials are. You lunatic. The wooden man makes his move. Cohrial, along with the elder from the True Dragon Alliance, hurriedly flee. The three newly ascended four-axis cultivators protect their factions with barriers. Having not chosen any faction, no one particularly helps me. Then Mad Lord Joe Yon clashes with the four-axis cultivator. Flash. Zizing. Their collision causes the spiritual energy to surge, shaking the nearby space. Kagagugu. Krghhh. Damn it, if it wasn't for the blood-body skin armor I would have died. Thanks to the regenerative power of the blood-body skin armor, I barely survived. Pinned down by their pressure, I can barely lift my head to watch their battle in the sky. And then, that day I witnessed the full power of Mad Lord Joe Yon for the first time. Kuog. Mad Lord Joe Yon opens a box. Whoosh. From inside the box, a massive fortress emerges. The fortress resembles three serving command palaces combined. A cylindrical pillar trio formed a triangle in Mad Lord Joe Yon's fortress. From atop the fortress, Mad Lord Joe Yon's voice thunders. Wonderfully mysterious fortress, open your gates. Kagagugu. The gates of Mad Lord Joe Yon's fortress opens, and the sky begins to be enveloped. That is. I gape in astonishment, and so do the other four-axis cultivators of the bright cold realm, their eyes wide with shock as they stare at Mad Lord Joe Yon. Bee puppets, spider puppets, mantis puppets, animal puppets, human puppets. They all fill the sky. Mad Lord Joe Yon's voice resounds from beyond them. Chi-building puppets 190 million, core formation puppets 165,600, nascent soul puppets 4203, heavenly being puppets 63, four-axis stage 2. The collective power of two authentic four-axis beings, and the combined strength of all other puppets filling the sky. The total combined power is 4 four-axis, the power equivalent to 4 four-axis cultivators. My mouth falls open in awe, and I look below at the three heavenly beings, now four-axis cultivators, calmly deploying barriers below. Kagagugu. Mad Lord Joe Yon skillfully manipulates his puppets, aggressively pushing against the green-armored wooden man. Other four-axis cultivators who have been stunned fly up to help the green-armored wooden man. I look below at the Black Ghost Valley with a stunned expression. Only today do I realize how astonishing and incredible the Black Ghost Valley is. To wage war against such a monstrous entity and survive by sacrificing only a third of their forces is truly a testament to their immense power. Guan. For several moments, the four-axis cultivators dazzlingly engage in battle amidst numerous chi-building puppets. And then, Kuang. The puppets are suddenly blasted away in a circle, creating a gap among the sea of puppets. Through that gap, the wooden man in green armor is seen falling, blood-like liquid flowing from its body. Simultaneously, poof! The Mad Lord's wonderfully mysterious fortress descends from the sky, capturing the green-armored wooden man. And then, the Mad Lord's puppets are instantly sucked back into his fortress, which in turn is drawn back into his box. Payet. Behind the Mad Lord, something brilliantly white is embracing him. Is that her? I'm astonished while I look at something. It seems to resemble a human form, but the radiance emanating from her and the eye-watering difficulty in focusing on her makes it hard to observe. Just then, you brat! The Mad Lord along with her flies towards me. Payet? No, flies isn't the right word. They simply transcended space and instantly reached in front of me. Quack! Her grasp of the void causes the heaven and earth spiritual energy to seize me up. At the same time, Kim Yon, who has been foaming at the mouth and unconscious, is also lifted into the air. Let's go, we've got a 4-axis material now. Damn it. Vroom. I draw my formless sword, frantically resisting, but I am unable to move against the strength of her, a 4-axis level being. This is exciting, hee. 2 worthy disciples and 1 4-axis level material and a successful ascension into the bright cold realm. The day we dance together isn't far off. Payet. The Mad Lord with her flies away, and I, captured by her, am dragged along. Behind me, the distance quickly grows, and I can hear the 4-axis cultivators screaming in rage as if they had gone mad. Kagagugu. Their angry roars cause the earth to shake and tremble like an earthquake. These entities, whose mere existences surpassed natural disasters and became celestial phenomenons. Such 4-axis cultivators were toyed with and are now trembling in rage by a single Mad Lord. Chase that madman. Put a bounty on that scum in the entire bright cold realm. You lunatic, the entire heaven tribe will hunt you down. In this chaotic situation, being captured by the Mad Lord, I clench my teeth. Damn it. Because I didn't choose a faction in time, I ended up being captured by the Mad Lord. Payet. I, along with the Mad Lord, her, and team leader Kim, swiftly fly to an unknown destination. Translator notes, oh my god, Kim Hyung Nu, ill miss UTT. In other news, male Kim exits and female Kim enters the fray. Donated chapter by Mortar, thanks for the support. / */ Discord https://dsc gg/wetread. Link to donations in the Discord. Chapter 141, Madman 1. Bright cold realm, on the highest mountain in the White Cloud continent. The summit of celestial Lotus Great Mountain. There a white pavilion made of white jade stands. The inside of the pavilion is obscured by strange rays of light that swirl around, making it impossible to see inside. Numerous light rays move back and forth around the pavilion. Wowung. And then, when a ray of light enters within. Basuzu. More talents have ascended from the head realm. One of them killed a patrolling cultivator of the flying immortal platform, captured his body, and escaped. Pajik. Light rays continuously swirl. Outside of those rays, something bursts out from inside the pavilion. It's a pure white tree branch. That branch is held in a hand, wrinkled and pale as white. To think such talents have ascended from that hideous world after 120,000 years, with outstanding talents having emerged again from that ominous place, the whole world will be engulfed in chaos again. What will become of fate? Payet. From the end of the white branch, a light orb similar to the swirling rays of light around the pavilion shoots out rapidly to some unknown location. I sent a message, but when will the star-shattering kids who left for their journey return as the eldest in bright cold realm? I must heal the injury I received from the golden deity even a day earlier for the world to stabilize. The wrinkled hand holding the white branch trembles and returns back inside the pavilion. Wowung. Once again, the surroundings of the pavilion quieten down, with light orbs swirling around as before. Kagugu. After being captured by the Mad Lord and breaking through in all directions for a while. Wowung. Crossing mountains and rivers, seas, and all sorts of strange places and spaces, the Mad Lord finally sets me and Kim Yon down. The place he arrived at is a huge valley. The size of the valley is not that of a moderately sized one in the lower realm. It's incredibly deep, about 30-40 li, approx 12 to 16 km. How can something be so huge? I'm stunned by the overwhelming size of the terrain in the bright cold realm. Finally, those annoying ones have stopped following. The Mad Lord smiles broadly and takes out his box again. And then, kagugu. As he opens the box, a huge fortress bursts out from inside. That is indeed. I am certain as I look at the fortress, known as the Wonderfully Mysterious Fortress. The Wonderfully Mysterious Fortress resembles the Serving Command Palace quite a bit. It's as if 3 serving command palaces are attached to form a triangle. In fact, apart from the color scheme, it looks exactly the same. Unlike the serving command palace made of jade-colored tiles and white stones, the Wonderfully Mysterious Fortress of the Mad Lord is made of brown tiles and black stones. I am curious, but decided not to speak unnecessarily in front of the Mad Lord. I need to find a chance to escape or commit suicide. Even contemplating suicide is impossible at the moment, as she, about 10 jang, approximately 30 meters tall, is emitting light from her whole body and freezing the heaven and earth spiritual energy around, preventing any movement. And then, at that moment, open Wonderfully Mysterious Fortress, clean up the things below. The Wonderfully Mysterious Fortress opens its 3 gates on each palace. And from there, like I saw previously, countless puppets pour out, heading down the valley. Kagagugu. After a while, a loud noise comes from below the valley, and then the puppets return back. In their arms are the carcasses of demon beasts and insects that look like demon beasts. There, now that the bottom is cleared, it's best to place the Wonderfully Mysterious Fortress down there. Kulu. The Wonderfully Mysterious Fortress, floating in the air, slowly descends into the depths of the valley. Hee, then dear, you also bring those kids with you. I'll go down first. Todd. The Mad Lord jumps without hesitation towards the abyss where the Wonderfully Mysterious Fortress descended. Simultaneously, she reaches out her hand and the bodies of me and Kim Yon are lifted. Damn it. I try to fiddle with the formless sword, but quickly realize it's of no use. Wowung. She moves her massive body, taking me and her down. Shui'ai. As we descend into the depths of the valley, the Mad Lord has already pulled out numerous puppets, paving the way for the Wonderfully Mysterious Fortress to settle. There are so many puppets that the giant Wonderfully Mysterious Fortress easily finds its place in the depths of the valley, deep below. Kagagugu. The Wonderfully Mysterious Fortress fully settles down, and its doors open. Now please come in, dear, you guys as well. 4-axis level materials, I'm so excited. I feel like I'm going to go crazy with excitement. Ha. Wowung. She, who is 10 jang in size, vibrates and gradually shrinks to the size of a human. It's only then that I can take in the full appearance of her. She is dressed in a pure white robe and carries 2 spears on her back. The structure of the spears look like they can be combined into one long spear. Her face is covered with a white veil, so her appearance is indiscernible. Step. She moves towards the gate of the Wonderfully Mysterious Fortress with a natural motion, but I realize that's not human movement. The joint movement is subtly different from that of humans. It's clearly a puppet. ZZZZT. Damn, it's hard to look at for long. It's definitely a 4-axis stage puppet. What are you doing not coming in? Wowung. As soon as the Mad Lord's words are heard, Kim Yon and I are lifted into the air and sucked into the Wonderfully Mysterious Fortress. I can't resist. Todd. I am sucked in by inertia and nearly crash headfirst into the floor of the fortress. However, I manage to regain my balance and catch Kim Yon, who is flying beside me. This place is. I look around the interior of the fortress. The Wonderfully Mysterious Fortress also applied spatial compression, boasting an immense size. And most of all, it's completely different from the interior of the Serving Command Palace. Kagagugu. Numerous puppets are roaming around. Dozens of pavilions, halls, and factory-like places where puppets are being produced, disposed of, and repaired. In many compartments, puppets are being created and managed. Daily life. It's just as it says. 2 puppets that look like a couple hold the hands of a smaller puppet, walking around inside the Wonderfully Mysterious Fortress. That isn't all. In various areas of the Wonderfully Mysterious Fortress, there are puppets running shops. Puppets dancing. Small puppets running around and clicking among themselves. It's like a city inhabited by real humans. But, shudder, shudder. What in the world is this? I feel a chill run down my spine at this bizarre sight. All these puppets are acting naturally as if they're a human. But none of them are truly alive. They are all connected by a strange flow of spiritual energy, a flow so sophisticated it almost resembles real human intent. But that's all, it only resembles intent. These things that are clearly not alive are imitating real humans. Just when I am feeling goosebumps. What are you looking at so intently? Come this way. Kagagugu. The space around us warps, and Kim Yon and I are brought to a certain area in the wonderfully mysterious fortress. Kagagugu. A space filled with giant cogwheels and strange puppet arms. A place crowded with numerous mechanical devices. Click, click, click. Flinching. In this strange space, there's a large workbench with numerous moving puppet arms and mechanical devices above it. And in front of them, the Mad Lord is cackling as he is working on modifying the green-armored wooden man. Indeed, a 4-axis cultivator. Using the body of a real 4-axis cultivator as a base will stabilize her unstable spiritual energy flow. Hoo-hoo, it's perfect, perfect. The Mad Lord spends a long time tinkering with his equipment to modify the body. During that time, I glance at Kim Yon, who is still unconscious beside me. She's been mentally tampered with. She isn't just unconscious. Inside her upper dantian, there is a kind of restraint similar to the 5 Elements blood curse banner, suppressing her vast consciousness. It's when I am examining Kim Yon. Now that the basic work is done, shall we decide what to do with you? The Mad Lord turns around and looks at us. My face stiffens like a rock, and I draw out the formless sword. Thinking he had completely subdued me, the Mad Lord no longer solidified the spiritual power within my body, allowing me to move the formless sword again. If it comes to it, I'll just commit suicide. I glance at Kim Yon. Perhaps I might have to kill her too. Better than being modified by that madman and living an existence that's neither alive nor dead for thousands of years. Just as I am about to swing the formless sword, the Mad Lord smirks. What are you doing? Didn't I say I would take you as my disciples? Aren't you going to greet your master? I hesitate to strike with the formless sword and flinch. Is he serious? It's impossible to predict what this madman might do. I try to discern whether the Mad Lord's words are sincere or just a product of his twisted mind. Snap! The Mad Lord flicks his fingers, and I feel the restraint in Kim Yon's upper dantian dissolve. And then, Puek, Kagagugu. An enormous consciousness bursts forth in all directions. Her consciousness, like threads, extend everywhere, transforming into a net that seems to engulf the heavens and the earth. But I am taken aback by the strange aura emanating from her. Despite revealing such immense consciousness, she no longer appears to be on the verge of having her head explode as before. I immediately understand why. The dual-colored aura emanating from her body. The yellow and blue auras envelop her, stabilizing her physique. Spiritual constitution. Before entering the Ascension Gate, I fed her a precious elixir I acquired long ago. I gave her the red spirit ginseng, creating a red spirit tree body for her. I've been quite generous. After all, without the red spirit tree body, she wouldn't have been able to withstand such an enormous consciousness. Red spirit tree body. I am taken aback. If ghostly yin transformation, immortal root, and heavenly golden thunder body are mythical and legendary, almost fantastical qualities, the red spirit tree body, while not as mythical, is a well-known type of spiritual quality. It's a constitution that develops both wood and earth properties in one's spiritual roots, characterized by a training speed no worse from a normal heavenly spiritual root, but even with the ability to read minute variations of wood and earth spiritual energy, making one stronger than peers of the same cultivation level. However, this constitution is more about the individual's innate spiritual energy rather than lineage, and red spirit ginseng itself is a herb naturally possessing the spiritual energy of the red spirit tree body. Therefore, anyone who consumes the red spirit ginseng, be they mortals or cultivators, will accept its energy and develop the wood and earth attributes of the red spirit tree body. The red spirit tree body also harmonizes and strengthens the physique, fortunately preventing her head from exploding. I ponder, watching her regain consciousness as the mental restraint disappears. Soon after, Kim Yeon rises to her feet. She rubs her eyes as they meet mine. A dream. I remember parting ways with Deputy CO. It's not a dream, so please pull yourself together. As I help her up, she's startled and trembles. Deputy CO, it wasn't a dream. She looks overwhelmed by emotion, but my attention is more on the Mad Lord, who is observing us with glittering eyes. I must ask, Senior, what do you intend to do with us? Even if the madman goes crazy and modifies us on the spot, I have to ask. Just what will happen to us? At that the Mad Lord grins, showing his teeth. Didn't I say? For now I will take you two as my disciples, no, as temporary disciples. Yes, temporary disciples. First, I'll teach you as temporary disciples, then choose one of you to inherit my true inheritance and complete this wonderfully mysterious fortress. Wonderfully mysterious fortress. What exactly is this place that he wants us to complete? Isn't his goal related to her? I have a mountain of questions about her. But the fear of the Mad Lord suddenly going crazy and modifying me for bringing up such matters prevents me from asking. Aren't you going to thank me for accepting you as disciples? The Mad Lord stares at us, his eyes glowing. I swallow hard, gently pressing Kim Yeon's shoulder, who still couldn't grasp the situation, and whisper. Follow my lead, Team Leader Kim. Why yes, yes. Kim Yeon follows my actions and pays respects to the Mad Lord as a disciple. Heh, good. Good, a disciple with the highest level of consciousness in the four-axis stage as a mere mortal. A disciple who, without learning any cultivation methods, possesses core formation level consciousness and has achieved ascension on his own. I will raise both of you well and definitely fulfill my dream. The man spoke while stroking his beard. Now then, first, that's right, I'm sorry. The Mad Lord suddenly looks at her beside him. Come to think of it, I haven't properly introduced myself. I almost forgot my disciples' names too. Thank you, indeed I can't do without you. I clench my fists as I watch the Mad Lord, who is suddenly crying and laughing, hanging onto her puppet body. Kim Yeon still looks confused and very frightened. Well, first of all, as you know, I am the Mad Lord Jo Yeon. There's no chance you don't know about me, so let's skip my introduction. What are your names? I am Seo Yoon Hyun. Kim Yeon is my name. Yes, yes, I'll definitely remember. Kim Yeon, you had your talent tested before the Ascension Gate and you've also taken the Red Spirit Ginseng. There's nothing more to know about you, so you can go inside for now. Snap. With a flick of his finger, the Mad Lord summons a bee puppet, which picks up Kim Yeon. Confused, she is carried away by the bee puppet, jumping through space and disappearing somewhere. And then only the Mad Lord and I are left in the room. I haven't figured out what your talent is yet. I've been feeling curious since earlier, but what is that consciousness you're wrapping around your body? It's not demon beast methods, so what is it? What should I do? After a moment of contemplation, I reply. Bowen. I wave my hand, and the formless sword sweeps around. Crossing planes, what in the world is that? This is a unique method using my consciousness. It's through this that I was able to ascend. My will and emotions are crucial in controlling this strength. If you modify me recklessly, I may not be able to use this ability as is. It seems so. The power is directly connected to the heart essence. Wait, that means you. Whoosh. The Mad Lord suddenly leaps in front of me. Our eyes meet. Does that mean you also see this vision? If you have the ability to handle heart essence, you shouldn't be unable to see it, right? Our gazes lock. My heart essence and his heart essence face each other. How should I respond? Should I give this person information? If I carelessly talk about heart essence, and it happens to be an area the Mad Lord is familiar with, he might modify me while keeping only my heart essence. I can't see it. Is that so? The Mad Lord steps back, looking slightly disappointed. Just as I am about to breathe a sigh of relief. Then lie down on that operating table for now. First, let's modify one of your arms and see if you can still produce that transparent thing with a puppet arm. Can you do that? Actually, I can see heart essence. Please forgive me for talking nonsense. Oh, is that so? That's really surprising. Truthfully, I suspected as much. All right, lie down then. Whirring. Next to the operating table, where a wooden puppet is being modified. Another operating table rises, and above it, Strange puppet arms and mechanical devices descend. Translator notes, the Yon in Jo Yon is different from the Yon in Hyang Hwa's mother's name. Jo Yon can mean early fate or early connection, which might mean that his connection or relationship with her happened prematurely, causing the unfortunate events to occur. Also, celestial tribe, heaven tribe. Hehe. Seo Yunhyan escaped the fate of having his arm torn off by the fox, but now it's changed to his arm being turned into a puppet. I bet some of y'all still got tricked into thinking the Mad Lord isn't that bad after all for a moment there. // Discord https://dsc gg/wetread. Link to donations in the Discord. Chapter 142, Madman 2. Click, click, click. The mechanical devices around me begin to operate. I look around for any possibility of escape. I should give up on talking more to this madman. The answer is clear. I am to be modified regardless. Should I suicide? But then, I remember Kim Yon, who has just been captured by the bee puppet. If I die like this, will team leader Kim be left alone with this madman and undergo the same modifications? I haven't fully realized the insanity of this lunatic until our face-to-face encounter, but now it is clear. I can't leave Kim Yon alone with the Mad Lord. Suicide? Let's not think about that now. So is escape possible? If I use the formless sword to cut the circuits of the surrounding puppets and escape. But that too seems impossible. It might have worked against Yuan Li, who's at the nascent soul stage, but not against this Mad Lord, a heavenly being at grand perfection, and his 4-axis level puppets. I am in the lion's den. Damn it. While I am contemplating. Kyugyuagwa. Numerous puppet arms descend from the ceiling towards my position. In shock, I evade the puppet arms with a defensive maneuver. You dodged. The Mad Lord's eye shimmers as I evaded. Shit. I feel a sense of hopelessness. If things continue this way, I might not only have an arm modified, but my entire body might be forcibly changed. Fear grips me. I look at the Mad Lord and force a smile. I'll go willingly. Oh sure, that's a good decision. Lie down. I'll attach something new and pretty to you. Yes. I grip my teeth and lay down on the operating table. I wonder if this madman will use anesthesia. I have little hope in this lawless era. I am accustomed to the pain of having an arm torn off without anesthesia, but I am worried about Kim Yon. If she gets modified, I should make some anesthesia for her. As expected, the Mad Lord approached, and the puppet arms descended from the ceiling. Let's see, open your mouth, he says, inserting his hand into my mouth to open it and peers inside. Ho 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 ho, ho ho, good, good. I had a hunch from seeing your body movements, but you're a martial artist, aren't you? Ayolai. Yes, yes, I understand. I don't know if you heard the rumors, but I have a reputation for treating martial artists well. Seeing your teeth, you're an incredible one who reached the 5 energies converging to the origin. Very good. You are immensely talented, so I will treat you well. Now it's going to shock a bit, so bear with it for a moment. Suddenly, I am enveloped in a massive electric shock. I clench my teeth and endure the shock. He's using lightning as anesthesia. After a while, I remain conscious amidst being electrocuted. The shock subsides, and the Mad Lord looks at me. What, you didn't faint? I even used lightning to anesthetize you. You have impressive mental strength. Is using lightning as anesthesia normal? While I am dumbfounded, the Mad Lord grins. With such strong mental fortitude, you can probably endure being modified while conscious. Click. Simultaneously, a gag is forced into my mouth, and my limbs are restrained. This damned thing, if the anesthesia didn't work, shouldn't he have tried again? Then the puppet arms and devices converge on my left arm. Hiss. Perfect, it turned out truly excellent. Bravo, not even twitching during the modification, I have obtained a truly great disciple. I sigh and stand up from the operating table. I'm worried about team leader Kim Yon. It's only because it's me that I didn't flinch and endured this insane modification. For a normal person, no, even for a typical core formation or nascent soul cultivator, the pain felt from the recent modification is not something to easily dismiss. Click, click. I lift my left arm. For a sudden modification by this madman, the new arm truthfully seems quite useful. Inside the arm, numerous spiritual energy circuits are tightly packed, and the arm moves smoothly according to my will. When I infuse consciousness into it, the sensations in the arm feel quite real. It's more than adequate as a prosthetic, and I can sense many embedded functions. Now, firstly, the basic energy source is designed to absorb energy from the wonderfully mysterious fortress energy source when inside. When outside, it will draw on your energy, using it as its energy source. Have a test of its performance. Click, click, click. In one corner of the Mad Lord's workshop, several target-like objects suddenly sprung up. The puppet arm given by the Mad Lord transmitted instruction on how to operate it through my consciousness when I infused it with my consciousness. Clicking. When I extend my left hand and concentrate my consciousness, energy gathers in my palm. And then, boom, a bright white beam shoots out, instantly turning 3 targets into ash. Never thought I'd shoot beams from my hand. Well, when I slightly curl my fingers, spiritual energy gathers at the tips, forming bright white nails made of pure spiritual force. Whoosh, whoosh. As I swing my hand, the nails extend at will, slicing through the targets. Keen, click, click. When I clench my fist, various parts of the arm open, revealing nozzles. Boom. Spiritual energy bursts forth from the nozzles, and I fly forward with my fist, smashing another target to pieces. It seems like it will be useful for enhancing the power of my punches. Just from this demonstration, it appears that an ordinary first-rate martial artist with just this arm can rival a chi-refining cultivator at the 10th or 11th star. Of course, all of these functions can be performed with the formless sword. In my case, with such a high cultivation level, these abilities feel somewhat superfluous. These functions feel more like additional capabilities, and the true power of the puppet arm must be something else. Harmony. It perfectly harmonizes with my body, which has reached the 5 energies converging to the origin. There's no discrepancy, and the flow of vital force chi and blood is natural. The natural movement and feeling, as well as the balance of the arm, seems to be its real advantages. And the real reason the Mad Lord made this arm is evidently. What are you doing? Try pulling that out, will you? Well, the formless sword emerges through the left arm. Ho, it comes out even through that arm. He seemed curious if the formless sword, formed through heart essence, could be emitted through the puppet arm. Aside from being attached to my body, it's no different from a Dharma treasure. The formless sword always had the ability to be used in conjunction with a Dharma treasure. It's no different than overlaying the formless sword onto a glass sword. The Mad Lord seems to have some inspiration, licking his lips while muttering to himself as he looks at my arm. Then, with sparkling eyes, he suddenly shakes his head. All right, that's enough. You can go now. Well, a bee puppet for transportation appears in the room. This fellow will guide you to your new quarters. For now, rest for today. I'll start instructing you tomorrow. The Mad Lord doesn't wait for my response. He approaches the 4-axis wooden man and begins to work like a lunatic. Well, I fly off with the bee puppet to somewhere else. Whoosh. I land in a grand estate located deep within the wonderfully mysterious fortress, having flown through space. The estate is decorated just like a real one, with lush grass, trees, and small animals and insects. Servants are moving around, cleaning and maintaining the estate. But I feel a chill. Not a single living thing. The grass and trees are intricately made puppets, as are the insects, small animals, and the servants. Click, click. As I look around, the servant puppets approach and bow to me. Are you going to guide me? Click, click. A servant puppet nods, and I follow it deeper into the estate. It shows me my quarters and various places around the estate. It feels desolate. Though the puppets are kind, this lifeless place is suffocating. As I look around, I sense a faint trace of life energy in the distance. This energy is. I leap towards the source of the energy. It's in an estate next to where I was. In a corner of the estate, team leader Kim Yeon is sitting on a rock, dressed in new clothes, looking dazed. Wearing a pale pink attire, her face is filled with confusion and fear as she watches the servant puppets working. Swoosh. I land beside her. Deputy CEO. As I land next to her, relief flickers across her face. I'm so glad. I don't understand what's happening. This place is too horrifying. And these grass and trees, they're all like robots, right? There's not a single living thing here. What should we do now? I look at the terrified face of Kim Yon and sigh. Team leader Kim, please listen to me carefully. I wanted to console her, but having undergone the modification of one arm, my mood had hardened. Now, you must forget about the modern society we lived in. In this world, there are no such things as human rights. That insane mad lord who kidnapped us might modify us whenever he's in the mood. Clicking. I show my left arm to Kim Yon. Her face, initially failing to understand, turns pale. What is that, Deputy CEO? You're joking, right? Team leader Kim. I grab her shoulder and look into her eyes. This is no joke. Please listen to me carefully. You might not understand, but let me explain this world to you. I slowly explained to her about this world. Martial artists, demon beasts, cultivators. Martial arts spells, the upper and lower realms. The mad Lord Jo Yon, and the story about him and her. What Kim Yon's awakened vast consciousness means. This is the kind of world we are in, do you understand? I still don't quite. Let me show you, it'll be faster. I form a hand seal. The puppet arm that has become part of me has no problem channeling pure spiritual force, and since it's much stronger than my original arm, there's no issue in using spells. Release. Chalalek. Simultaneously, the blood-body skin armor that has been boosting my regeneration inside my body is released. Chirururu. The blood that has seeped into my body falls to the side, trickling back into Yuan Li's blood body. Chirug chirururug. The blood body, which has continuously given me increased regeneration, causes my cultivation to drop from late core formation to early chi refining. What in the world is this? Kim Yon's eyes widen in shock as she looks at the blood body. I form a seal with the hand of the blood body. Hwarururuk. Flames burst from the hand of the blood body, and all sorts of extraordinary spells appear. Now do you believe me? This world is full of such bizarre things. I believe it, it's just, I was confused if it was a dream or not. I wish someone would tell me it's just a terrible nightmare. Kim Yon tiredly covers her face with both hands. Just then, wriggle, wriggle. Chalag. The veins of the blood body rise, and a small centipede bursts out from inside. I had forgotten about this little one. I had placed it inside the blood body, boosting its regeneration ability to withstand the spatial pressure. Of course, given the pressure, it must have burst dozens of times, but thanks to the blood body, it kept regenerating. I feel a bit sorry for it. I blocked its pain through the blood body, but still, its body burst several times. For now, stay inside. I manipulate the blood body to take the centipede back into its veins and cover it with flesh, pushing it inside. In the wonderfully mysterious fortress, it's difficult to recklessly bring it out. Meanwhile, Kim Yon looks a bit calmer and asks, "But Deputy CEO, how do you know all these things? And this woman, is it a man? Anyway, what is this person?" Team leader Kim, as I mentioned, similar to you, all our colleagues have awakened strange abilities. Yes, I'm the same. This body, neither male nor female, is part of the abilities I've awakened to, and so is the knowledge I possess. Is that so? Oh, right, about my ability. And I interrupted her. Do not reveal whatever ability you have acquired, no matter what. Why, there's only the two of us here. That's not the issue. It's hard to explain, but can you promise me you won't reveal it? Squeeze. I hold Kim Yon's hands and look into her eyes. Her face flushes red. Yes, I promise. You'll tell me later, right? In due time I will. I look at her intent and smile bitterly. So promise me, keep your secret until death if necessary. Yes. Looking at her intent, I ponder. It'll be hard to leave her behind in the future. Kim Young-hoon might feel a bit regretful about parting ways with me, but he'll excitedly venture off on his own journey. However, I don't know what would happen to her in her current state if we parted ways. I inform Kim Yon of a few precautions and teach her a bit more about this world. Thus, our first day in the wonderfully mysterious fortress passed. From the next day, we received various methods from the Mad Lord. Basic chi refining methods, and a method called Wonderfully Mysterious Heart Cannon. The Wonderfully Mysterious Heart Cannon is a type of consciousness method. It focuses on training and further developing consciousness. It's also a crucial method for controlling the residents of the wonderfully mysterious fortress. Until reaching chi refining, you should learn the Wonderfully Mysterious Heart Cannon, and once your consciousness becomes stable in the chi building stage, I will teach you my true consciousness method, the wonderfully mysterious innate heart cannon. Given that it's meant for controlling the puppets of the wonderfully mysterious fortress, it seems to be a consciousness method optimized for puppetry. From that day, I helped Kim Yeon with her consciousness method training and aided her in mastering the basic chi refining methods. Half a year passed. Top the valley, where the wonderfully mysterious fortress is located. Kagugu. After half a year, I see 5 strands of spiritual energy clouds revolving around me. Incredible speed. Despite not having the demon core of the fox and just absorbing the spiritual energy from the atmosphere, relying on understanding before breakthrough, I reached the completion in 5 surpassing paths to cultivation in just half a year. In this state, I seem likely to reach chi building within a month. And Kim Yeon is currently Kurung. On the other side of the valley, she failed the 7 stars ritual, biting her lips anxiously. Heavenly rejection. I didn't know about it during Kim Young-hoon's time, but sure enough, it's a phenomenon appearing to us who have come from the modern world. I failed again, what should I do? She asks in a trembling voice. I pat her shoulder, but she flinches and steps back. Over the past half year, the Mad Lord has modified not only my left arm but both arms into puppet arms, and the one I used to pat her shoulder feels like hard wood rather than human flesh. I, too, have experienced heavenly rejection in the bright cold realm. However, in my case, I overcame the phenomenon by tearing through the clouds with the beam emitted from the puppet arm given by the Mad Lord, without needing to shoot a gang sphere. This means, Deputy CEO, what about me, if the Mad Lord my arms too? If Kim Yeon can't overcome heavenly rejection, she too might be modified by the Mad Lord. There's still time. The next ritual isn't far away, so let's try again then, and the Mad Lord as expected. I look at her consciousness domain. Unlike half a year ago, when her consciousness was scattered wildly, her consciousness, having learned the Mad Lord's method, is now calmly enveloping the heavens and earth in a spherical shape. Team leader Kim won't be modified recklessly like me. I look down at the wonderfully mysterious fortress. Half a year after imparting the consciousness method and basic chi refining methods to us, the Mad Lord, intending to create a 4-axis stage puppet again, has been holed up in his workshop in the wonderfully mysterious fortress for several months, modifying the corpse of the 4-axis wooden man. How can you be sure of that? The Mad Lord said he would come out of the workshop in 2 months, right? If I still haven't finished the 7 stars ritual by then. She looks at my arm with a face full of fear. Heavenly rejection phenomenon. I look at the clouds dispersing in the sky, lost in thought. Team leader Kim, how far have you progressed in the wonderfully mysterious heart cannon? 11 stars. With the wonderfully mysterious heart cannon consisting of a total of 12 stars, she is just 1 step away from mastery. Perhaps you might overcome heavenly rejection. How so? I show her the puppet arms. If the power of the puppet is considered my power, then perhaps if team leader Kim commands the puppets. No, I don't want to. However, Kim Yeon shakes her head, making a pained face. Deputy CEO, you already know, to control those puppets I have to. I sigh softly. Certainly, it would have been easier if we could freely command the puppets of the wonderfully mysterious fortress. But there's a problem with the fortress's puppets. I'm telling you, my mind becomes strange. As Buck Hyung-Hwa's research on the bee puppet circuitry had shown, the puppets of the wonderfully mysterious fortress contain circuits corresponding to the 7 emotions. And these circuits are interconnected with all the puppets existing throughout the fortress. When manipulating a lone bee puppet, there are no issues. But when trying to manipulate the interconnected circuits of all the fortress's puppets, it feels as though the circuits are alive, eroding the manipulator's consciousness. The puppeteer will inevitably become mentally unstable. Designed to match the Mad Lord's lunacy, the puppets of the wonderfully mysterious fortress are such that anyone other than the Mad Lord who tries to manipulate them will become assimilated with him, causing their mind to fragment. This is the difficulty Kim Yeon is currently facing. Even with overwhelming talent, she's being held back by the heavenly rejection phenomenon. I watch her with concern deep in thought, then I say to her, I can't directly help you pierce the heavens. Then, but I will try to help you in any way I can. I look down at my puppet arms. With her normal mind, she won't be able to withstand the modification surgery. This is even if she's knocked out with electricity before the surgery. If the Mad Lord, after finishing the 4-axis puppet, learns that she is still at the 7th star of chi refining due to heavenly rejection, he will likely modify her arms as well. I might not be able to completely prevent the Mad Lord from modifying her, but I'll do my best to delay it. I make this resolve while looking at the terrified Kim Yeon. A month passes. Kagugu. I have reached Chi building. Familiar pure spiritual force flows within my body. Kurarung. After splitting the heavenly lightning falling towards me and scattering the dark clouds, I continue to absorb the spiritual energy of heaven and earth and practice my methods. The next cultivation method to practice after the 5 surpassing paths to cultivation. Yin Soul Ghost Incantation. Patsuzduzes. Yin Soul Ghost Incantation is not a method where cultivation rises when feeling pain, but when understanding pain. Since the key is understanding, I managed to reach the peak of early Chi building just a day after entering Chi building. Kagagugu. Dark curse scripts circle around my entire body. And with this, I should be able to help Kim Yeon. The day after tomorrow is Kim Yeon's 7 stars ritual. I intend to assist her 7 stars ritual through the Yin Soul Ghost Incantation. Manipulate the puppets. Yes. I speak looking at the puppets. You might feel the madness, but try infusing your consciousness into them. Okay. Kim Yeon, after seeing my firm gaze, nods and extends her consciousness towards the puppets. Wowung. The residents of the wonderfully mysterious fortress. The numerous Chi refining and Chi building puppets there begin to move. And then, Aflahi. Kim Yeon holds her head, enduring the madness of the Mad Lord with pain. I hold her shoulder and try to align my heart essence as closely as possible with hers. Then, Team Leader Kim, I will overlay my consciousness on yours. Please try to match the frequency of your consciousness with the structure of the wonderfully mysterious heart cannon. Yes, yes. Wowung. Team Leader Kim Yeon's consciousness and mine align for a moment. At that instant, the madness of the puppets of the wonderfully mysterious fortress, which she is manipulating through her consciousness, begins to flood in. Quajuk. Sticky madness. This madness is unpleasant, not just because it causes mental fragmentation. Wriggle, wriggle. The madness pushes aside the original personality of the manipulator, gradually taking over the flesh, and tries to dominate the consciousness of the puppeteer. But this time, it chose the wrong opponent. Ajuk. I take all the pain Kim Yeon is experiencing and transfer it to myself, using curses to make myself a voodoo doll. Pizzid, pizzid. Blood vessels burst in various parts of my head, and blood trickles from my nose. This level of pain is Kegug. I clench my fist, overwhelming the madness that is trying to devour my mind. Nothing at all. Kyujuk. In this state, I look at Kim Yeon and speak. Or rather, there's no need to say anything. Our consciousnesses are connected at this moment. Can you now manipulate the puppets? Yes. She grimaces a bit, then extends her hands. Kagugu. The puppets line up in an orderly fashion, moving in all directions according to her will. Hundreds of Chi building stage puppets begin to heed Kim Yeon's commands. Still at this level, I see. Yes, I'm not used to it yet. Anyway, this makes it possible for you to try. I speak to Kim Yeon through heart language. Shall we try the 7 stars ritual now? Chialkyak, chialkyak, chialkyak. Atop the valley, the altar for the 7 stars ritual. Surrounding it, a legion of puppets assume their positions, ready to unleash their respective spells towards the sky. The 7 stars ritual in the bright cold realm is no different from the previous world. The only difference is that the ritual has to be conducted towards completely different stars than the 28 stars of the previous world. However, the names invoked during the ritual remain the same. According to a cultivator the Mad Lord kidnapped months ago, the names of the stars and constellations used in the cultivation world's rituals are fixed across dimensions. Instead of performing the ritual looking at the actual stars, it's done according to the energy of the stars. Therefore, if a star in another realm has similar energy, it's referred to by the same name as in the previous realm. Kurung Kurung. Dark clouds begin to gather in the sky. Kim Yeon finishes the ritual and stretches her hands toward the sky. Then hundreds of chi building stage puppets that are manipulated by her emit light simultaneously. Quagwing quagwing. Hundreds of attacks from the chi building stage puppets tear the clouds in the sky apart. And since it's she herself who moves the puppets to tear the sky, it seems the heavens recognize it as her action. Payet. I can feel Kim Yeon successfully rising to the 7th star of chi refining. Ava Yunhayan Opa. Through her intent, I can feel a deep sense of relief and an indescribable surge of emotion. Thank you. Having overcome the critical stage of chi refining, Kim Yeon wipes her eyes and looks back at me. Seeing her appearance, I smile bitterly, disconnecting our consciousness connection. Congratulations, team leader Kim. I know her feelings better than ever. But I absolutely can't accept those feelings. Now you won't have to worry about being modified due to the stagnation in your cultivation. Yes, it's all thanks to you, Yunhayan Opa, but aren't we going to stop using team leader and deputy titles? Haha. Kim Yeon slowly descends from the altar. We're not in the company anymore. What should I call you then? No, more than that, why do you still speak formally to me, Yunhayan Opa? You used to speak informally at the company. Did I? That was 900 years ago. I hardly remember. Speak informally. After performing the 7 stars ritual, I realized. She speaks with a deep sense of relief. We, the remaining people, should be close to each other. But I know that what she is saying isn't just about being friendly. That intent, I know it all too well. In fact, just then, oh, have you been well? Suddenly, the Mad Lord bursts through space, sticking his head out. Flash. He looks into the empty air with glittering eyes. Kim Yeon seems not to understand, but I sense his gaze and feel a chill run down my spine. The Mad Lord is observing the color of Kim Yeon's intent. Oh. The Mad Lord, looking at her intent, lets out a suspicious exclamation. Since it's difficult trying to understand the intentions of a madman, I am always tense. I swallow and ask the Mad Lord. Have you come out already, Master? I thought you would stay for another month. The 4-axis puppet was completed earlier than expected. Chug. The Mad Lord, having torn through space, flicks his hand. Kuo. The wonderfully mysterious fortress below begins to rise slowly. And the spy puppet I sent out found the location of the light spirit pond, full of materials for injecting into her body. However, it turns out the bright cold realms race occupying the light spirit pond is quite formidable. They are called the cold spirit race, and they even have integration stage cultivators of the cold spirit race living there, making them a tricky opponent. What are you going to do? The Mad Lord spreads his arms wide, his eyes bloodshot with madness, and shouts. What do you mean, what am I going to do? War, of course. Cold spirit race or whatever race, I will conquer them all, and whatever stands in my way I will conquer them too. If the world opposes me, I will conquer the world. Hey, world conquest, world conquest. Now let's go. The method of creating 4-axis puppets is now stabilized, so from now on, we go to war with the cold spirit race. Kagagugugu. From within the wonderfully mysterious fortress, the true and undeniable power of the 4-axis erupts forth in 3 bursts. Simultaneously, over the past half-year, having undergone heavenly tribulation and risen to 4-axis, the Mad Lord's momentum envelops heaven and earth. Translator notes, donated chapter by Dragonk 105. Thanks for the support. / */ Discord https://dsc gg/wetread. Link to donations in the Discord. Chapter 142, Madman 3. What is this insane madman saying now? I quickly dismissed the thought that came to mind and asked the Mad Lord. Aren't there still less than 5 4-axis stage beings? This is an obvious fact. Even if all the lower-level puppets are combined, it's barely equivalent to the power of 5 4-axis stage cultivators. Considering just the current cold spirit race, I heard that there are countless 4-axis stage beings. I even heard that there are integration stage cultivators there. So what does he mean by conquering the cold spirit race? I am puzzled when he speaks. So we need to increase our allies, right? The Mad Lord says with a chilling smile. I've already established the framework for a 4-axis puppet modification factory. With just the materials, we can easily produce formidable power within a month. Shiver, shiver. He's crazy. That means First, I'll capture the nearby four-axis cultivators one by one, and welcome them as new residents of the wonderfully mysterious fortress. Then, once we put the collected materials into the factory and operate it, the Mad Lord laughs with his mouth wide open. Our side will grow even more, isn't that right? It sounds absurd, but why does it seem plausible, given that it's the Mad Lord? Either way, a war that will spread throughout the entire bright cold realm has begun, all because of one madman's delusion. Kagugu. I look at the situation in front of me, as if a natural disaster has swept through. You wicked bastard. I've sent a signal, and all the four-axis cultivators nearby will be rushing to capture you. The Mad Lord acted quickly. He quickly invaded the territory of a nearby four-axis cultivator and their land, clashing with them and driving the four-axis cultivator to a corner. Kagagugu. The Mad Lord laughs from above the wonderfully mysterious fortress, commanding an army of puppets numbering in the millions. The materials are replicating. That's just too good, ha ha ha. Why are you taking such crazy actions? Do you really want to become the enemy of the entire bright cold realm? Well, that wouldn't be too bad. Now become nutrients for the wonderfully mysterious fortress. You this madman, arg. Kagagugu. Numerous chi-building stage puppets swarm the four-axis cultivator of an unknown race, dragging him into the depths of the wonderfully mysterious fortress. Wung. That's the end. Inside the wonderfully mysterious fortress, the sound of a factory operating can be heard. In a month, the four-axis cultivator who had just caused a natural disaster due to battle will likely reappear as a loyal four-axis puppet following the Mad Lord's commands. Moreover, the modification factory is still in its initial stages, and as the Mad Lord modifies more four-axis cultivators, more data and information will accumulate. Perhaps the process of producing four-axis puppets will become faster, and eventually, they might be mass-produced without even needing corpses. Truly a chilling force. Is there anyone who can stop the Mad Lord? Perhaps the entire continent might be swept away by his puppet army. Why aren't there integration stage cultivators trying to catch such a person? Even near the flying immortal platform, I heard there are integration stage cultivators. So why aren't they pursuing the Mad Lord? Indeed, the Mad Lord is wanted, but why aren't there people eagerly chasing after him? I am truly puzzled. Before the Mad Lord grows further, someone of at least the integration stage must stop him. Only then Kim Yon and I might be liberated from him. The Mad Lord's tyrannical actions continued. He kept capturing the pursuing four-axis cultivators, converting them into puppets, and with each battle, his power skyrocketed. Even when the threatened four-axis cultivators formed an alliance and attacked the Mad Lord. He's insane. Ha, the materials can replicate. The Mad Lord, who had already ground up numerous four-axis cultivators to evolve his four-axis puppet modification factory, was incomparable. It had been 10 years since he first killed a four-axis cultivator and made a four-axis puppet. Now, the Mad Lord has slain 46 four-axis cultivators and obtained a total of 46 four-axis puppets. And over these 10 years, I've regained my core formation stage cultivation. And Kim Yon has somehow reached the nascent soul stage. Yunhyan Oppa, can I ask you about the wonderfully mysterious innate heart cannon? Sure. This is it. Having used a four-axis stage consciousness to condense a nascent soul, her power explosively increased upon reaching the nascent soul stage. Having entered the nascent soul stage, where the power of consciousness significantly influences methods and techniques, she is already able to use heavenly being level spells despite being merely at the nascent soul stage. I can feel my whole body tingling just from her approaching. But the real problem is, even if Kim Yon reaches the four-axis stage, can she kill the Mad Lord, that old monster? By the time she reaches the four-axis stage, wouldn't the Mad Lord already have created several integration stage puppets? Either way, for now, the only way to escape the Mad Lord is to foster Kim Yon's growth as much as possible. The consciousness method the Mad Lord mastered, the wonderfully mysterious innate heart cannon, is not as tricky as Cohual's summoning wind, coagulating core transformation, and is an excellent method without anything to criticize. Mastering the wonderfully mysterious innate heart cannon stabilizes the consciousness, increases control over various parts of the consciousness, and makes it more pure. It also has the effect of increasing the size of the consciousness compared to other cultivators of the same level, making it an excellent method. The only downside to this perfect method is that it's too complicated to learn and master. If Yunhyan Opa hadn't been here, I wonder how I could have mastered the wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon to this extent. My head already hurts. However, I could understand as soon as I received the essence of the wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon. The wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon is an interpretation from a cultivator's perspective of the colors of intent seen by a martial artist who has reached the three flowers gather at the summit. Furthermore, developing from this perspective of intent, I who have reached treading heavens beyond the path, by fully delving into and mastering heart essence, could comprehend the true meaning of the wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon. Therefore, even though she's at the nascent soul stage and I am at the core formation stage, the understanding of the method is higher in me, and Kim Yeon often finds herself in the strange situation of learning from me. The ultimate goal of this method must be beyond the path to heavens. No, to be honest, it's one step short of beyond the path to heavens. If beyond the path to heavens materializes one's heart essence, then mastering the wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon only gains the vision of beyond the path to heavens. But somehow, I have a feeling that the Mad Lord has reached beyond the path to heavens. If I look through the wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon created by the Mad Lord, his attainments are probably closer to a convergent evolution of beyond the path to heavens. Just like how I reached ultimate pinnacle, and my inner core underwent a convergent evolution with the demon core. The Mad Lord's consciousness method, the wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon, must have also evolved closely to beyond the path to heavens due to his efforts. Just one step. The extreme described by the wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon is really just one step away from beyond the path to heavens. Crossing this threshold, one can really reach beyond the path to heavens. Perhaps the Mad Lord, without even realizing, has already entered the realm. Simply because he had unknowingly reached an unknown realm, he might not have included that essence in the wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon due to a lack of knowledge in that area. He is truly astonishing. How can he, without practicing martial arts and simply by researching consciousness, go beyond three flowers, surpass five energies, ultimate pinnacle, and come close to entering beyond the path to heavens? The wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon is also quite important to me. Until now, I only dealt with the domain of consciousness purely from the perspective of a martial artist, but the wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon is a method that thoroughly analyzes the domain of consciousness from a completely opposite standpoint. By the way, Yunhyan Opa, have you heard what the captured cold spirit race cultivator said? I glance at a cold spirit race puppet walking among the puppets in the distance. The Mad Lord has been slowly infiltrating the territory of the cold spirit race for 10 years, creating a lot of cold spirit race puppets. Many of the cold spirit race captured by the Mad Lord helped us gain some understanding of the bright cold realm. The general flow of the bright cold realm. The major races of the bright cold realm. Recent movements in the bright cold realm. We learned many such things. There are no entering nirvana cultivators in the bright cold realm. Only one sacred vessel cultivator called the White Cloud Sacred Master. Star-shattering cultivators have all gone to some other dimension with no promise of return, and recently, even the cultivators at the integration stage are showing some strange signs. Maybe it won't be too difficult for the Mad Lord to conquer the bright cold realm. If that happens. Kim Yeon lets out a bitter laugh. If that happens, can we see our scattered colleagues again? Probably. She's longing for the people from the same homeland. Living every day with puppets in this insane Mad Lord's fortress is a tremendous psychological pressure. Perhaps because of that, the time she spent talking with me has recently increased. Somehow, she seems to be sitting closer to me lately. Yunhyan Opa. Kim Yeon moves a little closer to me. There's something I want to ask. Sorry, the Mad Lord is calling me now. I turn away from her as she comes closer to me. I know her feelings, but I can't accept them. Because I am already betrothed. I cannot share my heart with another carelessly. Now, disciple, the conquest of the cold spirit race is about to end. Once we occupy Light Spirit City, the Light Spirit Pond will be in our hands, and she will reach the integration stage. Haha. Then, the wonderfully mysterious fortress will be one step closer to completion. What have you called me for? Oh, the reason I called you is simple. The Mad Lord continues. The cold spirit race will desperately resist losing the light spirit pond. There might even be a chance that an integration stage cultivator will get involved. There's a high risk of death for both of you. So, I have a proposal. What is it? I want to fully integrate you into my world. If both of you become superior puppets, there's no need to worry about dying, right? If that happens, I will personally make you and Kim Yeon into a puppet couple. It seems Kim Yeon also has feelings for you. Wouldn't that be good for everyone? Kurg. At those words, I felt like throwing up in agitation, but I managed to hold it back. Calm down. Following this madman, I have somewhat expected something like this. Getting angry won't stop the Mad Lord. On the contrary, if I refuse, he might go berserk and modify us right away. Therefore, I have to compromise according to the logic of a lunatic. Fortunately, I have gotten a sense of his logic after following him for 10 years. I have a request. What is it? If he brought up this topic, it means, regardless of the uniqueness of my heart essence or anything else, he no longer cares about my formless sword, since 4-axis stage and integration stage puppets are more attractive to him. Then I must. Anyway, to your eyes, master, I'm a lowly person with inferior qualities who would be better off as a full resident of the wonderfully mysterious fortress. Right, that's why I want to help you become even more superior. Correct, but doesn't Kim Yeon still have more potential to grow? Sacrifice myself and make Kim Yeon's potential growth more appealing to him since he still finds her attractive. Rather than making her a puppet, it would be more efficient to properly train her as a puppeteer. Above all, I match my reasoning to the logic of the Mad Lord. If you make me a puppet, I would like to be handled by Kim Yeon with her vast consciousness. Oh, being handled by an excellent puppeteer is also the happiness for a puppet, is it not? Instead of making both of us a puppet couple, if you only make me a puppet and leave the control to Yeon. I continue, hiding my true feelings from the Mad Lord using my treading heavens beyond the path heart manipulation. Both of us can be happy. That's right, it's wonderful, perfect. The Mad Lord claps frantically, tears streaming down his eyes lit with insanity. I will make you both happy. I knew it from the moment I saw Yeon like you. You two can achieve the perfect love that I couldn't. Yes. Now lie down right away. I will make you into a perfect puppet. You will become the best puppet. I will appoint you as the martial arts instructor for the entire wonderfully mysterious fortress. You will become the guardian deity of the fortress, the general of the castle. Externally I feign joy, but internally I grit my teeth. Yona, I'm sorry. It seems this is my limit. I've been intervening and taking the modifications myself to prevent her from being modified as much as possible. But that's all I could do till now. It seems this short and intense journey of mine ends here. But at least since the Mad Lord listened to me, he won't fully turn her into a puppet. With her talent it might take time, but she will eventually surpass the Mad Lord. And she will avenge me. Definitely. Click, click, click. I get onto the Mad Lord's operating table, waiting for his modification. It isn't just a full-body modification. The Mad Lord's statement about accepting me into his world means that he will turn me completely into a puppet, leaving only a bit of my shell intact. Today, I am going to die. Click, click. Chilling mechanical sounds envelop my entire body. I thought this would be my 14th return. Click. I slowly opened my eyes. A perfect rise. Creak. I rose from my seat. My whole body moves. I did my utmost best to create you. Though your body didn't even reach nascent soul, I generously used precious materials, so you should have the power comparable to a 4-axis. I entrust the wonderfully mysterious fortress to you, General CEO. And then, just leave it to me, Lord of the Fortress. From my mouth, strange mechanical sound emerges on its own. Now go to your post. The battle with the cold spirit race is imminent. Understood, Lord of the Fortress. I move my body and leave the Mad Lord's workshop. My whole body pierces through space, moving instantaneously to the outer walls of the wonderfully mysterious fortress. 4-axis spatial movement. And then, I begin patrolling the outer walls of the wonderfully mysterious fortress. What? I move my consciousness in confusion. Wasn't being modified by the Mad Lord supposed to mean death? Wasn't I supposed to regress? But contrary to such expectations, I maintained my consciousness in the state of being turned into a living puppet. What is this? In a state of panic, I scream within the body of the living puppet I have become. I have been turned into a puppet by the Mad Lord, left in a state neither dead nor alive. // Discord https://dsc gg/wetread. Link to donations in the Discord.